pull up a chair. This is Off the Back Porch. Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer is brought to you in part by Country Village Sporting Goods. Everything you need to get in the woods, the water, or to the camp is at Country Village Sporting Goods. Jason Hardy State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Jason Hardy at State Farm is there. And Larry's Pizza in El Dorado, home of the Double Pizza Parade.
20 plus years of bringing you the most important and latest information with local happenings, news, sports, opinions, and probably an attempt at humor. Also brought to you in part by Davis Farms Country Market. For farm to table fresh, it's Davis Farms Country Market. Cook's Body Shop. Chances are it will happen. And when it does, look to Cook's. Murphy Arts District. For the latest information on concerts and events, go to eldomad.com.
Recorded live from Main Street Pizza in historic, beautiful downtown El Dorado, Arkansas. With a history of being the voices you trust. This is Off the Back Porch with Boomer and Sandy. Or Sandy and Boomer. Or two old guys you've known for a long time, whatever. And now your hosts, Troy, Boomer, Barrios, and B.A. Sandy Sanford.
Hey, welcome for another edition of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer. And here we are at Main Street Pizza in beautiful downtown El Dorado, Arkansas, where the pizza is always made right.
And the beer is the coldest in town.
Coldest in town.
Let me tell you what else is happening in here. Mm-hmm. The AC is running just great.
Oh, it is good.
It's more naturally hot today.
Yes.
If you're outside right now, go inside because it's 100 degrees.
Man, it is.
It feels like a convection oven. That's what the heat temperature thing is.
Yeah,
not 105. Convection oven.
Convection oven. The heat index.
It's convection.
Yeah, convection oven. So, anyways, we're glad to have you here with us this week. Hey, one little note of correction. I said last week that our special guest this week was going to be Chris Plants, former FBI field supervisor, who is next week. Okay. I had my cables crossed. That's all on me.
And I have some of my family members said, "What time are they come on?" I said, "Well, it's a podcast. You know, it doesn't come on."
Yeah, it's not a TV show. On. I mean, we could do the podcast live, but I don't think most of y'all. I know I wouldn't like that.
I wouldn't want to do it either.
I don't.
Yeah,
we've done live things.
We've done live things and
gotten ourselves in trouble.
Yeah. Parades and such.
The goat people.
Yeah.
Talking about good cats or dead cats. Poor little Amy that worked at the front desk.
Yeah, she's taking those phone calls.
She never took as many phone calls as when I said that about the only good cat is a dead cat. I saw a good cat on the way to work today. It was laying in the middle. Whew,
and I don't remember what I said, but obviously it was inappropriate because dude called me, said, and I didn't answer the phone. Said, "I need to talk to Boomer." So I get on there. I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, he said, "I got my 8-year-old son in here, and we're on the way to school. Can you explain to him what you just said?"
I remember very well what that was. I mean, I remember who it was.
Yeah,
because that one stuck with me. I was like, "Ooh, okay."
Yeah, and it was inappropriate. I said, "No, look," I said, "Don't say that."
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
We just goofing off in here, and I shouldn't have said that either. My brain, I don't remember what I said. You probably do.
I know exactly.
Tell me off the air then.
Okay, but I disclaimer right up front, ladies and gentlemen, we are idiots.
Yeah. If you're thinking about coming on the podcast with us, just know
we are idiots.
Yeah, and everything's a joke to us.
And if you're thinking about taking life advice from us, just know
don't.
We are idiots.
Yeah.
We make that pretty clear.
My mother, and this happened a bunch of years ago. Mother said, "Troy said, when are bad things going to quit happening to you?" I said, "Well, Mama," I said, "it's kind of like a crop that you put in. You got to let it go all through the cycle. Grow. You either have to burn it down or cut it back or something." And I said, I had crop failure, and I'm experiencing some of that.
Well, it's like one of my sons said to me one time, he said, "Dad, why do I always have to learn things the hard way?" I said, "Because you weren't paying attention when you could have learned it the easy way."
Yeah, it didn't occur to you. Maybe do it like I told you to do it. Oh, man.
Anyway, all right, well, welcome. Okay. Go ahead.
No.
I was going to say, welcome to another edition of Off the Back Porch. We're glad to have you. And Boomer, it is for many in our audience, it is a sad and somber time with the passing of the Prince of Darkness.
Ozzy Osbourne. And I heard some talk this morning that perhaps he was a proponent of assisted suicide, end of life stuff, and he went and did the concert that he did, sitting down, a tribute concert that he did with the original band,
Black Sabbath.
with Black Sabbath, the original band, and then he went in and remastered or some vocals. He went in and re-recorded some vocals, and they think just drawing conclusions that he may have just went out the way he wanted to go out. He wanted to do that, and it may have happened that way. But there's no, that was just speculation.
I personally was not ever a huge Ozzy fan growing up.
Yeah.
And in that period in the 80s when he was so wildly popular. And I mean, I liked a couple songs, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. And, but man, I really became a fan of his after his TV show.
Run, turn, falling over backwards in chairs.
Yeah. And then bloody TV.
Yeah. You gotta know how to run a computer, just turn on the TV.
Became a big fan of his during that time. Well, he did pass away. I guess that was yesterday. Yeah, that would have been on the 22nd. And I have this story here. Ozzy, who was a pioneering musician and Black Sabbath frontman, perhaps best known for his antics, including that of biting off the head of a bat.
Yeah.
And I think he did that to a pigeon as well.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there is the time that he urinated on the Alamo. Which, as a Texan, I just have to tell you.
That's grounds right there.
You're lucky to made it out of town alive. I'm just saying. That's one of those things. Well, the stunt did earn him a ban from from Bexar County and the city of San Antonio for a number of years. But after repeated apologies, the organization behind the Alamo site said that they, let bygones be bygones, and they called it from regret to reconciliation.
Okay.
Quote, "We at the Alamo are saddened to hear of the passing of legendary musician Ozzy Osbourne. His relationship with the Alamo was marked initially by a deeply disrespectful incident in 1982. However, redemption and reconciliation eventually became part of his history as well." Of course, that's the night that he went out in his wife Sharon's dress because she hid his clothes so that he couldn't go out and do the show.
Yeah.
And so he went out in her dress.
Her dress, yep.
And then
show you.
And then peed on the Alamo.
Yeah.
Anyway, of course, the Alamo, for Texans, we understand that's basically the beginning of the War of Mexican Aggression. And some people call it, Texas Independence War or whatever, but it was the War of Mexican Aggression.
Mexican aggression.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, peaceful, God-fearing, flag-waving, loving Texans. They went to the Alamo.
And
there were Mexican troops there.
They gentrified that thing.
And they said, y'all got to go. And they kicked them out. And said, this is ours now.
Okay.
And kind of like they did with Texas in general.
Yeah.
This is ours now.
Yeah. And a lot of, it's going on right now. Russia's doing it to Ukraine right now. They've captured 20% of their land, and so that's how it's happened all the time. You say if we want to give it back to who it belongs to, so well, how far back you want to go?
Right.
Because the Cherokees and the Navajos and the Arapahoes and this tribe took over that tribe. Who are we going to give it to, and where are they?
But anyway. Of course, Texans they were complaining to the Mexican government about the Comanche attacks.
Yeah.
And the government basically told them, shut up and pay your taxes.
Yeah.
That's what we need you to do. And so the Texans said, we'll just go take the Alamo. They did.
We'll fix this.
And 183 Texans held off about 3,000 of Santa Anna's army for, I believe it was 16 days.
Yeah, it was
something
over
like
a couple
that.
of weeks, yeah.
And anyway, so Ozzy goes back to the Alamo like in 2015, 2017. He goes back there and they
cleans up his pee.
Took him. I don't think so. They took him on a tour. He got the special tour of places in the Alamo that most people don't get to go to.
Okay.
And then he said he understood.
Yeah.
He was like, I get it. This is deeply, important.
It runs deep within the fabric of Texas.
Of Texas. Yeah. And so he openly, the Alamo said he openly demonstrated humility.
Okay.
And so I think it's, one of those things.
Yeah.
Ozzy has such a storied career, but for many people in my my area where I grew up.
Sure.
We knew him because he peed on the Alamo.
Yeah, and if you live in the Piney Woods or you ever heard about the Piney Woods, you understand. Let me tell you, I was with a group years ago, some friends and some friends of friends. You know, it's a big group of us go to the Alamo, and one of the ladies I'm just gonna stay out here. I've been in the Alamo a bunch of times. She's sitting on a car drinking a beer. Got in trouble.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you can't drink that. She said, well, I bought it. You know, I said, hey, whoa. Let's just go ahead and put it up. You know, because they got guns and we don't.
At the end of the day, they're going to win.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you may put up a good fight, just like the Alamo.
Yeah.
The bigger party's going to win eventually.
It's like those
battle.
It's like those idiots get stopped for speeding and they say, I'm traveling. You know, they're not a U.S. citizen. They're declared. I see those guys on online. I'm going, this is not going to end well for you.
It does not work. It doesn't work.
You can show them all this stuff that I don't contract with you. Oh, you don't. This state and this country says that if you get pulled over, you got to roll down that window. Not all the way.
No.
You don't have to do it all the way, but you have to present.
And if they say,
I need you to step out, you might as well step out because you're either going to step out or they're going to pull you through that little hole. Anyway, I'm off subject. But those guys had the guns and we didn't. So
I watch a lot of reels on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all, and it's always attorneys. They're like, comply. We cannot help you if you start off with non-compliance. By law, you are required to do this and this.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
You do not have to answer questions, and that's a big one because.
And you don't have
where you coming from? Not answering questions. Doesn't matter where I'm coming
from. And that guy says, that way? From behind me? Where are you going?
I was coming from there. I'm going that way.
I'm going that way?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, you don't have to be a smart aleck because that'll trigger them.
That doesn't never end well either.
Yeah.
You know?
But just say, you know, I don't see where that. I'm going to give you what I have to give you, my insurance, my registration, my driver's license. And I don't have to answer any of those questions.
Yep.
But, hey, I'm going to tell you, if I get stopped, I'm all about sucking up. I'm going, hey, boy, you should have looked good today, officer.
Need them shoes shine.
That gray looks so good on you. It brings out the blue in your eyes. Sir, I need you to step out.
Yeah.
In fact, I need you to stay in there. Anyway.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have more of Off the Back Porch right after this.
People will call it a number of things. Kisses from the clouds, revenge from Mother Nature, or just a little cosmetic damage. But the truth of the matter is, it's hail damage, and it severely affects the value of your car. And if you don't get it fixed and have an accident later, you could be looking at a lot of out-of-pocket expense from your insurance for pre-existing damage. If you have hail damage, get to Cook's Body Shop. Cook's Body Shop has highly trained experts at paintless dent repair who can make your vehicle look good again. When it happens, look to Cook's, 118 Rowell Street in El Dorado.
It's the one golf tournament everyone circles on their calendar. Serious and casual golfers alike love to play in the 32nd Annual First Financial Bank Share Golf Tournament, September 27th and 28th. 2 courses over 2 days. The Lions Club Municipal Course and the award-winning Mystic Creek Golf Course. Registrations are open now and a number of sponsorships are still available. Proceeds from the tournament benefit the South Arkansas Regional Hospital Foundation. For more information on the 32nd Annual First Financial Bank Share Golf Tournament or to register online, go to sharefoundation.com. You've waited all year. Don't miss it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer. And Boomer, yet again, we have found another unwitting suspect, a participant, who's decided he's going to put his entire reputation on the line.
Based on what we know, and that's dangerous territory. Yeah. David, so good to have you here, man.
Thank you for having me.
David
Lee truly went to the bottom of the barrel.
Not even close. Not even close. But David Lee is the executive director of the Union County Boys and Girls Club. And David, how long have you been here now?
Since 2011, January 2011.
That's right. So, man, 14 years.
Yep.
And
doesn't seem like it.
Quick math there. You kept your shoes on and everything.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's right. Well, I asked him before.
Okay, you had that set up.
I asked him before, and then I just remembered it was 14 years.
Okay.
So
see there.
I had the 9-year-old figure it out for me. do the math.
Chisholm ball.
25 minus 11, baby. How much is that?
That's right.
You know, I don't say this to embarrass him, but I have said this to multiple people. A lot of people talk the talk about loving God, loving others. David and his wife walk the walk.
They do.
And I've always appreciated that. Now, I'm not saying he and I don't cut up and have fun and say dumb things, because we do. But when it comes to the rubber meeting the road,
Yeah.
he's my brother in Christ, and I appreciate him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate his and his wife's dedication and their testimony.
Yeah.
And you know, another thing is I got to keep friends like him around, so I'm not the only one with so many kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how many children are at home?
6.
6.
Yep, 6. I think. Yeah, 6.
Some of yours and some Fosters, too.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So when you get more than 3,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
You know, you're really kind of onto something, because that's I've currently have 4 at home, and I'm going to temporarily have 5 at home, and that's, you know, I'm thinking that's really not going to change anything. It's just there'll be a little less left over after I cook every day. That's all that's going to boil down to. Still don't know where he's going to sleep, but
You got a floor.
Hey,
we got floor and couches. I mean,
right.
what's the problem?
couch is all you need.
So, tell us about what's going on at the boys' club.
Well, we're next to the last week of summer, so yay, we're getting ready to end that up.
Yeah.
Next week will be our last week, so it's been a really good summer. We're getting ready for the school year. It just never ends, you know. Every once in a while, we'll take a week off before the summer, and we'll take off a week and a half before the school year, and that's really about the only break that we get. So, I mean, once summer starts, then you're already starting to think about the school year. So, school year is going to be busy as usual. The number of kids that we get, excuse me, are it's big. So,
By the way, people who follow us on our Facebook page would have seen that last night I went and we broadcast live from your event at DP's Food Truck Park and the Back to Kids event. And he told me, Boomer, when I got there, he said, "This pulled pork now, this is Texan good."
Okay.
And I was like, okay, now, I mean, you
Hold up.
you said it.
Yeah. You've got a high standard here that we're looking at.
And so I bought plates for everybody at our house, and we got home and we went to unfurling, and I was like, I like that smell. It's smelling good, you know, and took a bite, and I was like, you know what?
That's the real deal.
David brought it.
And David cooked it, and David, good.
He brought it. He
man.
brought the goods with him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And so he texted me later, and he was like, well, and I said, hey, I put it on my Facebook page. I was like, that's some of the best pulled pork I've ever eaten, period. Hands down, some of the best ever. It was that good.
Good, David.
yeah,
You
that
got
means a lot
skills.
that comes coming from Sandy. That's awesome. My buddy Sean helped me cook it, and we were test trying it, and it's like, man, this is really good. Like, dang, this is good. Like, we don't need to add much to this at all, and put a little bit of rub on there, and that's it. But I did a lot of salt. Remember when we were talking about?
Yep.
And just that's out of character for me. So I'm like, I put too much salt on there probably, but it just worked out.
It does. So for those of you, I traveled the barbecue circuit for a number of years, and just learning as I went. And I got a call from Myron Mixon. So now some of you may know who he is, some of you may not. But if you ever look up barbecue pit masters, he's the guy with the long white hair and cusses like a sailor. Yeah. And that's for real him, by the way. But he calls me at home one night. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And he calls me B.A. B.A., I'm cooking in a competition place called Pine Bluff. You want to come help me? And I was like, sure. And I was telling David last night, I said, it's the equivalent of Peyton Manning saying, hey, you want to go play catch?
Yeah.
Or Nolan Ryan, you know, hey, you want to go play catch?
Yeah, got a glove?
Yeah, right. And so I was like, of course. So I get up 3 o'clock in the morning or something and drive to Pine Bluff. And get there, and I'm helping him, and we're setting things up. He said, now let me explain to you how this is going to go. Any money we win is mine.
I get.
But I won't charge you 1 penny for what I'm going to teach you today.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's pretty good.
But he does have a barbecue school.
Okay.
And he charges $1,200 a day for it.
Does he really?
Yes. And it stays full.
Wow.
It's not like he can, you know, he's having to cancel classes.
Yeah.
There's a waiting list. I think it's almost a year out. If I decided today I wanted to go to Myron Mixon's barbecue school in Georgia, It's about a year.
Wow.
I think. But anyway, we're cooking, and at one point we get that brisket out. Now listen, when he slices his brisket to turn it in for the judges, he's got a tape measure. Every piece is going to be the exact same size and the exact same thickness. And I was looking at that. I said, Myron, I've cooked a lot of briskets. Now I've won a couple of times, but I've never cooked a brisket that looked that good. And he said, well, let me ask you something. How much you pay for your briskets? Now, back then, 2010, 11, I was buying them from Timber Lane for about $190, $200 for a brisket, which, in my opinion, was very expensive brisket.
Yeah.
He said, that brisket right there was a $300 brisket. He said, was. Now it's a $10,000 brisket. And he was right. We won the first place in brisket, first place in ribs, and seventh in chicken, and then won the grand prize overall. I think he took home like $25,000 that day.
Wow.
That's a pretty good payday.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So I'm stuck on a $300 brisket.
Yeah.
What do they have to do? Where do they have to cut that off the cow to make it $300?
Well, I think it's what grade it is.
Probably straight grass fed, and it's got a lot of marble.
No, I bet you're not going to find a grass fed one in a competition. The grass fed just tastes different, and it's you want them at least finished on corn, so that it fattens the meat up. But anyway, I was telling him before we started cooking that brisket, he salted it, and I was like, I don't salt mine. He said, that's part of the problem, Sandy. He said, he said,
that's why you're not winning these.
That's what he said.
That's right.
That's what he told me. He said, that's the difference between winning and not winning. I said, well, my rub has so much salt. And he said, doesn't matter. He said, you salt it ahead of time, give that meat a chance to open up the pores. That salt will open the pores, and it'll allow the smoke in. And that salt, as it dissolves inside, will shut those pores real tight, and you can't over smoke it like that.
Oh.
And he said, if you're not using salt beforehand and just using what's in your rub, you're going to over smoke it.
I'll be.
And so I started doing that. And, man, it was night and day difference. I went from placing second, third, fourth, fifth to win, second, win, second, stuff like that.
Huh.
And it made all the difference. So that's what he was telling me yesterday. When I was telling him that last night, he said, well, that's what we did with this pork butt. And it was good. It was very good.
It was an accident. I just did it. You know what I mean?
I saw a guy cooking. He cut them all up. He said, don't worry about taking the skin off or nothing like that, the membrane. He said, just cut them up. So I'm doing like he does. And, I'm just reaching in the cabinet and shaking stuff. I don't know nothing. Sandy, I bought some of Sandy's rub before, or he gave it to me. I don't remember.
I think you still owe me money for that.
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
bring that with you next time.
See, you banking on my not remembering.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just shaking stuff out of the cabinet, and Martha goes, "Oh, I like this." Said, "You got to remember this one." I said, "Too late."
Too late.
I did that one time with some potatoes. I made something there, and I cut up some little baby new potatoes, and I just seasoned them down with this and this and this, and
whatever's up there,
little honey, and threw it in the oven, let them cook, pull them out. And my wife and I are both like, wow, I have not been able to replicate it since. I can't even get close.
That was great. What'd I do?
Yeah, what did I do? No idea. But so, David, you and I share the fact that we're both native Texans. Where in Texas did you hail from?
I grew up in Arlington.
When
we moved here, I was living in Granbury, though. Well, actually, Toller. Toller is kind of like the Parker's Chapel of Granbury.
Okay.
A little bit. Yeah. So, we lived in Toller for 9 years, but my whole life I was in Arlington pretty much.
So, what got you into the Boys and Girls Club? What was that? I mean, I don't know any kid who, when they're 7 or 8 years old, says, when I grow up, I want to be the executive director of the Boys Club.
Yeah.
So how'd that happen?
Yeah, it didn't work out that way with me. So, they needed a part-time flag football coach at one of the sites. And I had a buddy at work for me. He's like, hey, man, you need to come work over here. Come on. I was going to school and all that. I was like, well, I'll go part-time and help coach flag football. And next thing you know, I'm at this position. Then next thing you know, I'm at this position. And I was like, okay. So I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing now, still to this day. But before me and Michelle got married, I was kind of struggling with, I thought I might be, being called to the youth ministry. And God kind of whacked me with a 2x4 and he said, "Hey, dummy,
That's what you're
you
doing.
are in a youth ministry." Like, oh, okay.
I'm already there.
Yeah. So I don't know. God's just been opening doors, and when He opens them, I try to go through them.
It works out better that way most of the time.
It usually does. Yes.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't always paid attention very
That's right.
well, and I look back and I'm like, now I see why I shouldn't have done that because I'm an idiot. Which we made that disclaimer.
A disclaimer at the front.
At the very front of the show, we told everyone, do not take life advice from Boomer or from me because we are idiots.
And Fro and I somewhere along the way decided that you might as well do it God's way. I think it has to do with age and getting slapped on the head several times. That you say, I might as well do it God's way because He's going to get it done His way anyway.
It's going to end up His way, one way or the other.
So just go ahead and submit.
Yeah. Fun fact about me though was I was from 13 all the way I retired in 26. I was tournament fishing.
Really?
I thought I was going to do that for a living.
Yeah.
Like this is what I'm doing for a living. And
Well,
I got burned out and it just didn't work out, which is fine. You know what I mean? I had my fun doing that every weekend, fishing or practicing or whatever. And so I got burned out on that. And the club is where it is.
So we could, you could take me over to Wright Patman or to Fork, one of those, and
All them East Texas lakes, you bet, man.
yeah, put me on them.
That's right.
Man, I tell you, I took Boomer and took him sand bass fishing.
Oh yeah.
And you ever fish sand bass?
Heck yeah.
Man, they're like lots of people call them a lot of different things, but it's a white smallmouth bass.
That's right.
And they're no good to eat. They are not any good at all, and they have this real gamey strip in them. And even if you cut that out and soak it in buttermilk for a week and a half, it's still not any good. And,
but they're fun to catch.
But they are so fun to catch.
And them things fight too.
That's what I told Boomer when I was taking him. I said, "Now listen," I said, "the males will be about 2.5 pounds. A good sow will be 3.5, maybe 4 pounds. You catch a 4 pound sow, you'll know it." And I said, "But they fight like a crappie, but they're bigger." And so I said, they fight so much, they're basically nearly dead when you get them in the boat.
Yeah.
And so we go down there and we.
You're going to tell this story.
Of course I'm going to tell this story. We're back in this little creek. Now, sand bass run in February. So it's most naturally cold, okay? I told Boomer, do not bring that bait cast reel. You don't want to use that. What does he do? He brought it anyway. Well, he gets it hung up in a tree. And he's like, "Hey, I'm hung up. Can you?" I said, "No, I ain't getting you out of the tree. You just do it yourself." So I don't remember what happened. Anyway, we're going over there to the bank so he can get unhooked from this tree. And the trolling motor catches a stump. And it does one of these. But when it does, here goes Boomer into that February water. Now, it was
from my waist up. My legs were still in the boat.
We get him. It's me and him and my former father-in-law. And
rest his soul.
Rest his soul. We pull him up out of the water, and he's like, "Dang, that's cold." And James, my former father-in-law says, "Well, I got this overall bibs on."
Yeah, he had bibs on.
And so Troy just went to shucking clothes, and he's in nothing but what the Lord gave him.
Yeah.
And James starts laughing and said, "I didn't tell him I'd give them to him." Well, about the time James gets those off and hands them to him, and Troy don't even have them on yet. He doesn't even have them on. And here comes this game warden. This game warden comes up there and he said,
"What's going on here, boys?"
There's two of them. I said, "I don't know if you boys got a license for what y'all doing back in here." We're on the Louisiana side of the Sabine.
Oh, man.
I'm standing there in my skivvies, and James is taking off his stuff, and I'm pulling my pants off. and to top it off, the game warden had a speech impediment. He's from Dwally.
Well, now I can't hear. Okay, I am clinically deaf, and so I can just hear he has an accent. I didn't know it was a speech impediment. So I'm like,
"Where you from?"
"Where you from?"
Dwally. Where?
What violation would that be? I wonder what kind of ticket would you get for that?
Yeah, he didn't want to write it.
Yeah,
he wasn't going to write that down. What he was thinking. What you boys doing back here?
Here would be the great part is the judge in that district is one of my best friends. I worked.
We've been to his house.
Yeah, we've been to his house, and I just couldn't imagine us going down, standing before him. He's like, "No, wait, y'all were what now?"
Yeah, really. Explain this to me again, please.
Yeah, the game and fish guy from Swanley. We've been in. Well, Your Honor.
Stop.
Okay, I'm stopping. He's not listening or wants to see this. He might.
Well,
You might watch it.
He might.
He might.
Yeah.
You got some listeners in Zwally?
Could.
Well, very well be.
Could very well have some there.
But 20 years ago, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. I don't think it was quite that long, but it was.
No, it hadn't been that long.
But it's close. It's closer to 20 than it is anything else, that's for sure. But yeah, that was. We got on those sand bass, and man, did we have
caught some, brother.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Take my wife. I've been telling her, we've been married 7-8 years, and I've been telling her, one of these days we've got to go to sand bass run. One of these days. So she has an uncle who lives outside of Shreveport, and him and his buddies were going to go to the Sabine for the sand bass run. And I said, okay, we're going to go. So we go down there, and we get on this little oxbow that you can only get to if it's flooded. And we get back there, and I'm telling her the same thing. I'm telling them, listen, they're going to fight. You got to be ready for that. And so, I mean, first cast. And boom, I yank one in, and I said, "That's the difference between fishing and catching. You can fish all day, but that catching is so much more fun."
It sure is.
So at times we're pulling them into the boat at the same time, 2 at a time, just as fast as we can fish. And she gets one, and as sand bass will do, this one gets right up to the boat, slings itself off that lure. Well, the lure wraps around it.
Oh no!
And so she gets it in the boat. And she pulls this thing up, and I'll try to remember to post a picture of it. Weighed 5.25 pounds.
Dang.
And told you, no good to eat. We toss it back. 3 or 4 days later, we're sitting in the living room, and she said, I wonder what the state record is on a sand bass in the state of Texas. No. And I said, it's got to be 7-8 pounds, something like that. 5.15.
Oh, goodness gracious.
She threw back a state record. Didn't know. The next weekend, we went down to Sam Rayburn. Buddy of mine, Mike Wheatley, and his wife, they have a guide service there. He invited us down to come go fishing with him on Sam Rayburn, which, again, is like Peyton Manning saying you want to play catch. I mean, it's Sam freaking Rayburn. It's one of the best lakes.
Beautiful lake.
It's one of the only places I've ever been, though, you can be in 95 foot of water and still see stumps. But we're down there, and I'm telling him, he's like, wait, 5 point, and you threw... that was, I said, let me finish the story. And he's like, I was going to say, that was a state record.
Man.
But yeah, and we took the Munchkin, the 18-year-old, we took her last year. And we get back on this little creek. And when you're that age, first of all, you're stuck with your parents, even if it is fishing. So the whole time, till we get there. And shoot, that first cast, when she starts hauling one of them in, she's like, "Oh,
this is fun!"
Yeah, and then it was on, man. She would get hung up, and she'd say, "Here, get me unhung," and she'd take my rod.
Started hollering probably like she was Jerry Clower.
Yeah. Yeah. But that sand bass fishing is a lot of fun.
It is.
Matter of fact, I haven't ever been fishing that it wasn't.
Sand bass fishing.
Basically, any kind of fishing.
Any kind of fishing. Yeah, it beats the day at the office every time.
That now that day, that 4th of July, when Boomer took me down to Felsenthal, and it rained so hard, water's running down my back, and I had on cargo shorts, and water's coming out the pockets. I said, Boomer, look at this. I said, something's got to give, because we ain't caught anything. We got out there, and it was hotter than Hades when we get there. And then this little breeze comes up, and it's nice and cloud cover, and then the bottom falls out.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I got water running in my coin slot. We got to figure something out here. He pulls us 4 foot. I swear to you, no more than 4 foot, closer to the bank. And all of a sudden, we couldn't get them in the boat fast enough.
Yeah. Raining and crazy.
It is raining. And there
Catching bluegill.
Yeah.
Them things are like crappie here. Like, I never did that in Texas. Like, Reggie took me fishing. I've been there doing it twice. I mean, you can fillet the things. They're huge.
Yeah,
I never did that in Texas. Like, this is fun. I love this.
Yeah.
Martha'd catch them, said, was this one big enough to keep? I said, you eat shrimp, don't you? So
I don't remember. We had 80 to 100 in a matter of no time at all. Yeah. And we had to be back uptown for a remote broadcast we had to do out at the fairgrounds that day. And so we get up and we're on the way to the dock. He said, now what are we going to do with all these fish? And I was like, man, I don't know. And because we didn't have them in an aerator. I mean, they were dead. Mm-hmm. And we pull up on somebody I think he may have casually known. But
No, I knew. I went to church with him.
Okay. And he's like, y'all want some fish? And they're like, sure.
Yeah.
And we dumped this.
They went, oh, my gosh.
We dumped 20 pounds of bluegills. And
Well,
red
we,
ears.
you know, we had almost a couple of limits, you know, and he and his wife and 2 kids in there. So, you know, they were able to take that many. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Plenty.
Yeah. But, you know, and then, of course, riding with Boomer is a lot like rodeo. Hold on for 8 seconds if you can.
We're not going to stop. That's just a stump. We're going to jump. That's why they call us stump jumpers from South Louisiana.
Yeah. We need to do that again. We need to do the podcast from on the water.
Ooh.
It's a good idea.
Need to go and
idea.
just do the podcast and
Just on our phones, though. I don't want to bring all this. I got a generator. We put a generator in the back.
put it in another boat behind us.
Yeah, have them ride.
With extension cord.
Anyway. But so much about that.
Yeah. So much about that. But so you decided, okay, I'm not going to be a tournament fisherman. I'm going to be a part-time football coach, and and then that kind of worked into this deal. How did you end up in El Dorado?
Well, long story short, BGCA called me and said, "Hey, there's a club in El Dorado. We need you to look at and see if you might be interested." I'm like,
Had you been executive director anywhere before?
I was in Hood County in
Okay.
Greenberry. I was the executive director at the time, and I'm like, Arkansas? No, not interested. And because I grew up in the Metroplex pretty much, I'm like, I'm never leaving the Metroplex ever.
Yeah.
And so anyway, long story short, one thing led to another, and I said, "Who's the executive director?" They said, "David Weatherington." I said, "Did you say Weatherington?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "Double no.
Yeah, I don't want to have to follow that guy.
I'm not following him."
Yeah.
Because his brother, Jim, now David was great. David's a legend too, right? In this area. And but his brother Jim in North Little Rock was like a national BGCA legend. Like they have a award after him in the region. And so David and his brother were just phenomenal. I'm like, I am not following that name.
Yeah.
And excuse me, but God just kind of opened doors and did one interview and did another interview, and next thing I know, they're want me to come here, and I'm like, if they're going to offer this to me, I can't say no, because that's purely God's got to be doing that.
Yeah.
So me and Michelle, we're moving to Arkansas, and it's like what, 5 hours, 5.5 hours.
Yeah,
so
5.
that's not too terrible from the Metroplex. So
Matter of fact, the worst part of that trip to me is getting to Texarkana.
exactly.
And then after that, it's just
Yeah.
it's smooth sailing.
But no regrets. David, I mean, it was a smooth. As a matter of fact, I was really mad at him when I first started, because he promised me 2 weeks that he'd be with me. I got half a day with him. I was so mad at him. But the way everything was set up, it was like, oh, well, this is the way we do it. Okay. And it was so easy, the way he had everything, the way he ran things.
Yeah.
It was like, sometimes people will take over organizations like, okay, I'm changing this, I'm changing that. I'm like, they're asking me, what are you going to change? I was like, I'm not changing nothing if it doesn't need to be changed. And there was
The whole
everybody's
if it ain't
different.
broke thing.
Yeah, everybody's always different, right? But I was like, there's not much that needs to be changed. We're going to keep rolling with what we're doing. You know what I mean? And I bring some things different to the table, of course. But Mr. Weatherington did a great job here for 33 years, and there's a lot of alumni here, and I was just kind of honored to follow him here.
I noticed one of the things I noticed you brought, and I just thought it was a thing that they did everywhere, and that is opening day for baseball. When I was a kid, and that was my favorite, one of my favorite moments in the baseball season was opening day. You came together, the whole team, you came to the where you played, and as a matter of fact, each team would have a booth where you would do your own little fundraiser of whatever kind, whether you were selling sausage on a stick or funnel cakes, or I remember there was one team, they had a bale of hay with a bunch of pencils in it, and you pull out a pencil, and if you found the one that was sharpened, you won a prize.
Okay.
And I won one of those one time. But we also took your team pictures that day. because by the middle part to the end of the season, not every kid's going to still be on that team.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you took your team picture that day. I mean, it was just, and then you'd have 2 or 3 games, and I just thought they did that everywhere. And when I came here and they didn't do that, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't realize.
You thought that was
I thought that was just a
everywhere.
traditional thing you did everywhere. And then I noticed when David came along, he started having opening day ceremonies, and they'd walk all the kids out and call them by name and let mom and daddy get to hear them being called out. And it was a lot of fun. And,
cool.
and of course, I've done more than my share of those opening days.
Yeah, I still need you to do a T-ball coaching clinic for me one day.
I'll be happy to.
Sandy, I've never seen somebody have more scene control over a little 6U T-ball team before in my life.
I've witnessed it. Yeah, I've gone out there and
I'm
watched
just like,
it when his kids
what
played.
is happening out there? Like, I'm like,
He
they're
can-
actually listening and doing what he's. I'm like, oh, okay. So
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he went and taught that kindergarten class. Sandy be whistling at them, but they all jump and
Yeah.
do a backflip and throw their glove down and salute.
that's right.
You know, here, first of all, anytime you're coaching kids that age, and I don't care what the game is,
Yeah.
football, soccer, baseball, tiddlywinks, it's like herding cats.
It is. You got to have
It
a
is.
signal where they all
Oh, my.
understand. Yeah.
And so, because I am hearing impaired, I'm loud.
Yeah.
And so I tell parents on the first day, I say, look, I'm not hollering at your child, okay? I am naturally loud. I'm also hearing impaired, so I'm going to be even louder. And when we're at a game and there's all kinds of noise going on,
Yeah, background.
I can't hardly hear anyway, so I'm going to be loud. Please don't think I'm hollering at your child. But I figured out pretty early on that you needed some kind of signal to get everybody to
Yeah.
look back and focus again.
Yeah.
And we'd be in a game, and I promise you could find 5 kids who played for me who are all now in their mid-20s, and I could go, "What?" and they'd stop
Yeah.
and put their hands out, you know. So, but what I would always say 1, and they hands here, 2 here, and then 3. They would all duck to the ground and put their glove on the ground, head down, butt up. And I'd tell them, I'd say, those 3 positions are how you catch a ball. Okay, you don't catch it any other way, especially at that age. It's, you know. So when I have a kid who does one of these and the ball bounces off his glove and pops him in the face, I say, hey, you did a number 11. We only do 1 through 3. Okay,
Yeah.
you can't do a number
Yeah,
11.
you can't do that yet.
Or you know, my favorite would be a kid get hit and of course they're going to cry and I'll walk out there. I'm like, hey, hang on, let me look at it. Let me go. Oh my gosh!
We need to call an ambulance.
And they'd say, what? I said, nothing. You're okay,
You're-
buddy.
yeah.
I need to
Rub a
get
little-
you to come out and do our 3 and 4 year old T-ball.
Oh my! Y'all got 3 and 4
We
year olds.
do, and it's a funny story because when I first started, poor Billy Lester.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I probably made him retire a few years earlier than anyone. I love Billy. I love Billy, man. I look up to that man. He's been great.
He's great.
He's an awesome guy. And I went down to the office and I'm talking to him. And he's looking at me. He was on my website from Hood County. He's like, "Promise me one thing."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" He goes, "Do not do 3 and 4 year old T-ball until I retire." I kept my promise.
Yep.
I did. I kept my promise. And Billy's something else, man. He's funny. Now, I'm gonna. Don't you hold the record for Boys and Girls Club getting thrown out the fastest in a game?
I do. Yes.
Like before the game started? or
No.
something?
The game was going on, but it was the very first game of the pitching machine season.
So they don't submit to saying you calling them a fish-eyed fool. They don't.
No.
What happened?
I can't exactly remember. I'm sure Qatari does
Yeah,
because
Qatari probably did it. Right?
he's the one who tossed me.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. Let me just back up. And rightfully so. But whatever happened, it wasn't intentional on my part. Again, it goes back to being hearing impaired, so I'm loud. And so when I turn around and smart off to an umpire and I'm already loud, it comes across a little different. And so he did. He tossed me. And
Before the game started?
no, game was going.
Okay.
But he
But it
did,
just got started, I believe.
I don't remember how far into the game we were. Actually, I can tell you this: it was the end of the game because the game got called.
Because there was no one to coach the children.
Well,
so.
there was a parent who then started piping up from the crowd, and Qatari did the right thing. He said, "Ball game,"
Ball game. We're not going to have this.
and that was that. And you know, I was
Was the parent from East Texas as well?
They're probably Astro fans.
Yeah, sure. I'm
Most
sure.
likely.
I was refereeing the little upward bound flag football one year, and had these two teams playing, and this one kid who's on defense, he runs over the receiver to try to intercept the ball. And the coach of the offense was like, "Where's the flag?" I was like, "Man, he has as much right to that ball as your guy." And that was incidental contact as they were both going for the ball. I'm not going to throw the flag on that. Well, it's incomplete. Next play, they run the same play and the same result, except this time the kid on defense gives him one of these and goes up to intercept the ball.
Yeah,
and
now
I flag him. Well, here comes their coach flying off the sideline. I'm like, first of all, I always tell coaches before a game, don't come running at me, okay? You need to talk to me, call time, do whatever it is. I'll get to you, but don't come running at me. I will send you back till you get it right. So I sent him back. Well, that made him mad.
Yeah.
And now this time he comes off the sideline and he's letting me have it. And I just explained to him. He said, "Man, it was the same play." And I was like, I told him
Different
the difference.
result.
Told him the difference. And he's like, "Man, forget this," and did one of those. Well, that was enough to get my ire up. But then when the kid standing next to him does the same thing, I was like, "That's it.
Yeah.
You're out of here." So I tossed him. And afterwards, he let me have a piece of his mind. He didn't come up and say, "Man, I shouldn't have done that." Or
It was a continuation.
He come and just let me have it. And I just stood there and I just smiled. And remember, this is upward bound. It's all faith-based, right?
Yeah.
I was like, "God bless you, Coach."
God bless you, Coach.
And away I went. I drove straight to where Qatari worked. And I walked in. I said, "Qatari, if I didn't," which I knew I did, but if I didn't, I want to apologize again for you having to throw me out of a game because I was wrong and I shouldn't have done what I did, whatever that was. And he's like, "Coach, we're good." I knew we were, but after taking that butt chewing from that guy, I was like, I had to go make sure. You know? So
The thing about them umpires, they don't have hearing impaired. They're good. They can hear pretty good.
It's amazing what an umpire can hear.
Exactly. That's right. Exactly.
My thing, and I've been thrown out of just about every ballpark in America, and it doesn't bother me at all.
Some as a fan.
That's right.
I don't think I've ever been thrown out as a fan, but my thing is I am never going to argue with an umpire on a judgment call. I may come up to you and say, "What did you see?" and get them to explain it to me.
Yeah.
But I am never going to argue with them on a judgment call. What will get me out of the dugout and get me in your face is if you're lazy and you're not in position.
In position, yeah.
You're not in position, or if you just don't know the rules. Then I have a problem because I carry a AAA umpiring card. I know I have to memorize those rules, and even if I'm unsure, I'll stop. If I don't know what to do with what just happened there, I'll stop. I'll get the other umpire in, and if need be, I'll pull the rule book out.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to just die on that hill because by God I said so.
Yeah.
And so
that's what really irks a lot of people is that you know you're wrong, but you're not going to.
I'm the umpire. That's why.
Yeah.
And I questioned an umpire one night here in El Dorado, and I walked out there. I said, "What did you see?" And he's like, "Be real honest with you, Coach. I'm not sure." And I said, "Okay, don't ever say that again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, "Make it up if you have to.
Yeah.
Don't ever look at a coach and say I'm not sure." And the other thing is, man, if you're going to make a call, make it with enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Make it like
Act like you know what
by
you're saying.
gosh, I saw it all. You
That's
know.
right.
And but yeah, umpires out of position. That's the one.
That's a tough one.
Well, that's the one thing about our sports program that I'm really proud of for baseball. We kind of made a decision that we're going to go back to Boys and Girls Club, baseball, and really focus on this is a rec league.
Yes.
You don't like it, get over it. It's a rec league.
Well, we did
If I'm
both.
playing you and you have 8 players and I have 11, here, use one of mine.
Yeah.
We're playing. It's about the kids. And I have a really good committee that help with this league, and a bunch of dads and a bunch of coaches. And man, it went great. It was so much fun this year. One of our teams and Coach Pitch didn't have a very good season, but their attitudes all year long was great, and the parents were fine, and the kids were having good. They were improving. But South Ark, the baseball team came in and evaluated for us, and they did the scores for us, and we split the teams up based on that. And you remember all them days of the draft? The committee were like, excuse me, like, we'll do it. We're gonna do the teams.
Oh, so even the bigger leagues you don't draft?
No.
Oh,
no,
wow.
Because it's all split up as far as the evaluations go and everything. So
well, that's good
really
because
good. Yeah,
I won't say
you've been
who.
in a draft room or two.
Yeah, I have, and I'll say this.
Excuse me.
I didn't know y'all allowed alcohol at the Boys and Girls Club, but there was so much wine going on in that draft room.
Yeah.
Man.
And All Stars, that's always fun too.
Yeah.
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 But this year though, I'll be honest with you, it was really good, and we're fixing to start up soccer, and same premise is going to be great. We had joint practices with baseball, so this is something I've been wanting to do for so long, and George is finally like, yeah, that's a good idea. So like 10U, we had 3 times this season 10U practice, like everybody come and practice, and it was basically a clinic with the Stars with Cannon's group. And we did it with all of our divisions.
Oh,
it
wow.
It was awesome. It
is awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes, it's just like that. This guy can come in and preach the same sermon your pastor did, but the further away he came with a bigger suitcase, all of a sudden he's an expert, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just, you can tell those kids, and some of those kids, you've coached 5, 7, 8, 10 years, and they're tired of hearing you say it.
Yeah.
And, but somebody who comes in who plays for South Ark or wherever, and they come in and they're like, hey, hey, buddy, turn that wrist this way, or, or hold your, get your feet here, or whatever. It's a lot of fun.
I'm not sure who had more fun, though. I don't know if it's Cannon's kids,
the Stars,
or our kids. I'm being serious. It was like it was a lot of fun. They did great, man. We're happy to have such a good relationship with them, and I'm looking forward to. Cannon's actually going to be our speaker for our Youth of the Year celebration on October 14th. Yeah, so we're excited about that.
Cannon, and listen, we have a jewel. Whether the people out there know it or not, we have a jewel in Cannon Lester. I mean, let's not forget this guy got drafted by the Giants. Of course, there was a medical issue.
Yeah.
That prevented him from completing that contract. But he could have gone anywhere and done anything.
Yep.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Giants organization would have been happy to send him to work his way through the ranks of one of these, one of their farm teams and then work his way up. But he chose to come back here.
Yeah.
And that's, you're talking about that team that had a good attitude. That's a top-down thing.
That's right.
If your coach has a good attitude, your players are going to have a good attitude. Now, every now and then you'll get one that no matter what you do, that kid's just not going to have a good attitude. Right. We did the Kelly Gall and I we were umpiring the I think it was the 17U state championship state tournament here, and there was Benton and Bryant was the first game we did, and of course that's natural rivalry.
Yeah,
natural rivalry, and Benton beat the brakes off of them. I mean, it wasn't even close. And then Benton runs through the tournament, seriously, run rule in every team they played. Comes back around, and Bryant
come out of loser's bracket.
And that game they had a kid on the mound. Benton did. I'm sorry, I had it backwards. Bryant was the team that run ruled everybody. Bryant had a kid on the mound. This kid was a phenomenal pitcher. I mean, there was no question in my mind. Come draft day, he's going.
Yeah,
he's going to get drafted. Phenomenal pitcher. Gall's behind the plate. I'm in the field, and he throws a pitch, and it was close. I don't know. It looked like a strike to me, and the kid felt like Kelly had squeezed him a little bit on the strike zone. So he stomps around there on the mound for a second. That's fine. Get it out of your system. Totally understand. You feel like you threw a good pitch, didn't get called a strike.
Yeah.
You're going to throw 90-something more of them. Just pitch or two later, he felt like Kelly squeezed him. And he said, man, you got to be effing kidding me. As he walked off the mound, I was like, whoa, time. I walked over and said, hey, bud, listen. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Man, he squeezed. I said, that's not what I'm talking. I don't care about what he's doing. I'm talking about what you're doing. Don't do that. And man, I think it was the next inning. he dropped the F-bomb again. So I toss him. And here comes his coach. And he's flying out there onto the field. And I'm like, I can toss you too. It doesn't matter to me, you know. What do you do? I said, use the magic word. Coach, I warned him not to use the F word, and he did it again. And, you know, and he stood out there and argued with me for a second. It had no gravitas to it at all. He was just putting on a show. And that kid finally walks off the field, and the coach says, I can't do anything with him. And I was like, I get it. I can tell. Called a buddy of mine that evening, and I said, hey, I thought you coached this team. And he said, oh, I did. He said, I just, you know, it didn't work out for me this year. And I was like, well, I tossed a kid tonight. I said, pitcher.
He knew exactly who he was.
And he said, he's what I'm talking about when I say it didn't work out. Didn't work out. He said, I can't coach that kid. He said he's good. He knows he's good, and he is incorrigible.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah. And you know what's funny to me? All the talent that kid had, I've never once seen or heard his name ever again. Because let me tell you what professional coaches won't do.
Yeah.
They won't put up with that.
Yeah.
They will not. They just soon cut you as and not even remember your name. Who was that kid we drafted that time out of high school? I don't remember. We cut him. We cut him 2 weeks into training camp. Or whatever. You know,
poor attitude.
Yeah. They won't do it.
Uncoachable, they call it.
Yeah. Right. And I'm going to tell you, you get a kid that's uncoachable, and you'll say, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Because it's been, you know, I used to tell the kids, David, I'd say, especially the ones when I got them when they were real little, said, guys, I'm not here just to coach you in baseball. We're going to talk about life. Right. Okay. And you're stuck with me. You play for me, you're stuck with me. Okay. If you grow up and you're a teenager and I see you doing something wrong, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you mom and your daddy. So just know, you know, I am your biggest advocate, and I will help you. But if I see you making bad decisions, I'm going to call you out on it. Had this kid that played for me 8-9 years. Good kid. Couldn't play dead in the Western. He wasn't a great ball player, but he was a good kid, good attitude, good parents. And a couple years ago, I heard he had been arrested and was out at 250 American Road, out of the sheriff's office. So I called Ricky Roberts, our sheriff, and I said, I need to come see this kid. I said, I coached him for a lot of years, and I just need to come talk to him, you know. And he was like, okay. So I get out there, and I walk in the room, and he didn't know who was coming. He just knew somebody was coming. And he goes to crying immediately. Coach. And I was like, listen, bud, listen. First of all, everything we say in here is recorded. So don't admit to anything, okay? And I just went in, and I told him, I said, look, I love you. I don't care if you did this or you didn't. Right. You know, but I didn't. I said, doesn't matter to me. I love you. And what can I do for you? Do you need some money on your commissary? And he's like, no, sir, I'm good. And I said, do you need me to get a message to your mom and dad about anything? No, sir, we're good. And we talked about what he was there for, and he had an alibi that no one had ever checked. But anyway, a few days later, the kid's out because they figured out he didn't do it. And but his dad called me and said, I just want to let you know he's out. And his dad was crying. And he said, you know, you told him when he was little that you were here for the rest of his life. And he said, and people will say things like that. He said, but you proved it, you know. And that was my thing. And those are my kids, you know. And I take great pride when I look at them today, and I see them with their own children, you know. And I see some of them with they went on, and one of them's a doctor now. Another one is an engineer, and they're making great decisions and great money, and they've got a little family going, and it just is a little sense of pride, you know. And I'm sure. Listen, did I make more mistakes than any coach? Absolutely. Yeah. I am 100% probably the worst coach ever. But
that's the thing that can happen, though, in that environment that's created by the Boys and Girls Club.
You get those kids and you love them.
Right. Yeah.
And there were kids who nobody had ever loved them before. Or if they did and they didn't know it.
Yeah.
I remember asking Billy Lester one time, I kept getting saddled with some kids that I was like, now, Billy, why is it? And he said, Sandy, you're the only coach I have who can handle him.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, dang, I'm going to start sucking as a coach then.
Yeah.
But I got a kid one year, Now, this was way up in age. This isn't T-ball or pitching machine. This was way up in age. Didn't know if he was right-handed or left-handed. He had never played baseball in his life, ever. Knew nothing about the game. Did not know where to run if he hit the ball. And if I didn't pick him up for practice, he didn't come to practice. If I didn't pick him up for the game, he didn't make the game. Matter of fact, if I didn't buy his uniform and his shoes,
I remember that story. Yep.
he wouldn't have had them. But let me tell you something. That young man, now it was funny, right towards the end of the season, he'd say, "Ooh, coach, show is hot back here." And I was like, "Well, I got the air up as high as it'll go, buddy." He said, "You know what might cool us down, coach?" He said,
A soda pop?
he said, "I think if we ran by the Sonic,
That's right.
that might get." You want to go by the Sonic, buddy? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Route 44.
And so we go to the Sonic and get him a slushie, and it never failed. He'd have a brain freeze before we got out of the parking lot. He'd go to sucking the bottom out of that cup.
Oh, my word. Yeah.
But when that season was over, he came back and was just telling me nobody ever showed any interest.
Showed him any, yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't know whatever happened to him. I guess he's just fine. I don't know. We had another kid one time. Kid, again, got to me. He didn't know if he was right-handed or left-handed. I said, "Well, which hand do you write with?" "This one." I said, "Okay, you're right-handed then." And so we start working with him. Now, he couldn't hit for anything. He was a terrible batter. But he had a cannon for an arm, and he was a big kid. And he knocked down anything hit his way. So I put him at third base. And I'll never forget one night, I'm in the third base coaches in the dugout, and he turned around, he's looking. And I said, "Hey, turn back around." He said, "Coach, that lady's got a gun." I didn't even look. I just went to grabbing kids. I grabbed the other team's player who was standing on third base. I grabbed their coach. I started pulling them in my dugout. And they're like, "What's going on?" I said, "Clear the field." And sure enough, there was a lady in the apartment complex over there behind the field walking around with a gun.
The C League field over there.
Yeah, it was the old C League field.
Oh, my goodness.
Walking around with a gun. But that boy, just kept working with him. Every year I'd put him on my team. I liked him. Good attitude. Great family. I was real big, and I was real hard on the kids about showing up ready to go. Don't show up, and you don't have your jersey, you don't have your cleats, you don't have your glove. Don't do that. Okay?
Yeah.
When you get here,
You're ready.
We only have this much time before the game
warm up and
starts
get
to warm
going.
up, and I need
right.
you ready, okay? Well, this boy, it had rained so much one year, we were playing games on Saturdays to make them up. And one Saturday morning, like 8 o'clock, he comes walking up there all sleepy-eyed, and I said, "Hey, where's your cap?" "Coach, I don't know. I was looking for it. I can't find it." Now, I had always told him, if you come and you're not dressed out and ready to go, then I'm going to send you back home. Well, I wasn't going to send him back home. I just said, "All right, we'll figure it out. Get in the dugout." So he gets in the dugout. About middle of the first inning, here comes his brother, out of breath. "Coach, I got his hat." Now, this kid, I knew where he lived. He lived over by West Side.
Okay.
Okay, that's a long way.
That is.
His brother found his brother's hat and ran to the C League field to make sure his brother had his hat. And that right there was when I said, "That's a good family."
Yeah.
Because most big brothers, they'd told you pound sand.
They'd have hit it.
Yeah.
You're out of luck there,
Yeah,
buddy.
they'd have told you pound sand. Not this young man. He ran
For his brother. That's
for his
cool.
brother.
Yeah.
So fast forward a few years, and I'm umpiring a high school game. This kid, who was really big, now he's slimmed up. He's tall, big, good-looking kid, muscled up. He comes up to the plate, and I'm umpiring behind the plate. I didn't recognize him at first. And first pitch that it sees the strike zone, that's the last thing it saw. Man, he knocked the cover off of it. And I don't think they ever found that ball. And so he takes off around the bases. I get up, and I'm brushing the plate off. And when he comes to home plate, he hits home plate with his foot. He said, "Thank you, Coach." And listen, y'all,
Yeah.
my allergies acted up. I had to walk back over there, put some water on my face so people wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
But, man, my allergies acted up. And, those are the things that when you coach,
Yeah.
they make you feel good.
That's a lot of good examples of the club. We have kids from all walks of life, man.
Yeah.
But there's a few that really need us, and they just don't have any other options. And, it's fascinating to watch the impact that you can make in a kid's life.
Yeah.
The alumni will tell you that, oh, I did smart moves with Mr. Troy. No, that's not what they say. They say, I remember Mr. Troy and what he did, in my life at the club. And, so that's great examples, though, of how sports and our after-school programs, everything that Boys and Girls Club does with kids. So,
and I'll tell you this, I've walked in up there after school. And that is a calling.
Yeah.
You have to be called
because it's wild in there. Yep.
It can be. It can be.
Yeah, all day long. They're not allowed to pull their hair out. And, man, they get to the club, and that's when they feel like they need to do that. So.
But I have been up there when they fed us before. I went up there and they fed us out of the concession stand one time. I don't remember what that was for, but some event that we had, and they fed us out of the concession stand. I think I ate a whole $6 worth of nachos or something.
That's right. If you really want some excitement, go on a bus route with me after school.
Oh, my.
Ooh, I see you driving that bus, too.
Yeah, I do, too.
Yeah, you should go on one with me sometime. If you really want something, that'd be fun. We do it.
Do a podcast from the bus while you're loading kids up. Yeah, I can just imagine what that would be like.
Man, I'm telling you, that's exciting there.
Yeah, no, I'm good. So, what's some? You talked about your Youth of the Year event coming up. What else? Some other things y'all have coming up?
So we have that, and one of the things I'm really excited about too, other than our Youth of the Year celebration, is we're doing a next gen marketplace at the club.
Okay.
So, 18 and under, all youth, if they have something they want to sell or they make or provide services to the community, we're going to provide them a table and a couple of chairs, and they get to showcase what they're doing. It's all kids. Yeah, it's going to be neat, like young entrepreneurs. So
that is neat.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that.
Where's that taking place?
It's going to be September 20th at the club.
All right.
So, yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a lot of kids that'll be able to come out. I mean, I feel like it's important for kids these days, especially, so this is going to sound horrible. Maybe not, but I feel like in society right now, we're at a point, and I think it's getting better now, actually, but it wasn't a few years ago, to where the kids, you got to go to college, you got to go to college, you got to go to college, you got to go. And if you don't, then you're
doomed.
Nothing. Yeah, you're not going to be successful. And that's nothing could be further from the truth. Go to college, right? If you want to, that'd be great. But there are things you can do: plumbing, electricity, start your own business. I mean, you can do all kinds of things. And trying to expand the kids that we serve to be thinking about that. Like, you could do X, Y, Z, right? If you really want to, I'm excited
not every
about
kid's
it.
cut out for college.
They're not.
And you're right. As a society, we make that mistake.
Yeah.
Growing up where I did in those sand hills of East Texas, education was not important at our house. It just, now they expected me to go to school and learn and not show my butt. But no one cared if I made a B instead of an A or a C instead of a B.
Right.
That wasn't what was expected of us. And when I say us, I mean a group of grandkids. What was expected of us was to graduate high school if you can, and then go to work. Yeah. That's what was expected. Yeah. And so when I decided that I didn't want to follow that path, I wanted to do something beyond high school. I was pretty much told, and then it's on you.
You're on your own.
You're on your own to do that. So I couldn't get anyone to just sit down with me and talk about college.
Yeah.
What are my options? Whether it was community college, so I met a guy who was a recruiter for a technical school, and this guy had the time and sat down with me and then explained the process and talked to me through it. And anytime I needed anything, I could just call him, and he would walk me through that. And so I ended up going to school for air conditioning, refrigeration, electrical, and heating. And that opened a whole nother world, which ended with me in broadcasting.
Yeah.
but at least I know enough now not to electrocute myself if I have to work on something that needs to be worked on. I've told my kids their entire lives, I'm like, look, get as much education as somebody will pay for. As much as they'll pay for. But know how to do something.
Yeah.
Whether it's lay tile, like I said, plumb a house, wire a house, fix an air conditioner or refrigerator, fix a car motor, just know how to hang a ceiling fan, know how to do something.
That's right.
Because if the world goes to hell in a handbasket, I can still plant purple holes.
That's right.
You know, I still know how to chunk watermelons. You know, I grew up on a farm. I know how to farm.
That's right.
And, you know, so, and my kids, to their credit, have taken that advice. You know, my oldest is in law school. My oldest son has his bachelor's. My next son has his bachelor's, and he's moving back.
About to be a teacher.
Yeah, he's going to come back. He's teaching at El Dorado High School.
Nice.
And I'm very happy for him. And then I always joke about my munchkin, my 18-year-old. I said, she don't need to go to college because she knows every damn thing.
She knows everything already.
Yeah. You don't believe me, just ask her.
Most of them do.
Yeah, I have a
I did.
15-year-old like that.
I did at 18. I knew everything. Man, just ask me. I knew
Yeah,
it.
you tell them.
Yeah, I knew it all.
So Cam's going to get to teach one of the younger,
munchkin.
the 2.0.
Well, I mean, he'll get it eventually. Get all three of the 2.0s.
Yeah.
Man.
And
Which is going to be hilarious.
They're going to be held to a higher standard.
I bet you they are.
Yeah.
Now, one thing in our little family chat session, our little text group for our family, which we call the family roast session, and because they will roast each other in there sometimes. But he was talking about, I can't wait to have Munchkin in my class. He said, because I'm put her on detention day one.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
So,
and he doesn't want to be called Mr. Sanford.
No, he doesn't. He said
Cam or
I think Mr. Cam or Mr. Camden, whatever, is going to be fine. But yeah, he's going to be teaching there this year, and it's going to be great, man. I'm
That's
excited.
awesome.
I'm excited for him. I think that's going to be awesome. And now I can get that oldest one, get her out of law school, and start making me a living.
That's right.
You know, so, I mean, I made her a living.
That's right.
For a bunch of years.
Tell her to get after it.
Yeah.
Can't she make me a living for a little bit of while?
Yeah, fair play. Turn around.
And that's the great thing with me having so many kids.
Yeah.
Is I'm playing the odds.
That's right.
Yeah,
Somebody is going to be rich enough to just take care of me and change my diapers when I get old. That's all
what
I
you
need.
hope for.
That's all I need. Go buy some land and tell me when I need to move in. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Somebody out of all of those has got to be like that.
One of them.
Yeah.
So Cam leaving Louisiana Tech, Amy and my grandson, he'll be a senior this year at
Wow.
Louisiana Tech. It's hard to believe it.
I remember when that kid was born.
Yeah. And Maddox was very upset that Camden was leaving Tech because he would get a lot of advice from Cam, about what's happening at school and how to handle this. And so Cam was a bulldog, man.
And he was a social butterfly at Tech as well. I mean, he was part of everything.
Yeah.
And he, which evidently at Louisiana Tech, being on that orientation staff is a big honor.
It is.
Yeah. And matter of fact, I was talking to Robert Watson, my physician, and I said something. He was asking about the kids, and because he's known them all, he's been seeing them since they were all that tall. And except Cam, I think Cam came out this tall, but but I was telling him, when Cam made the orientation staff, he's like, "Oh man, I made the orientation staff," and he's like, "It's one of the greatest honors." And I didn't realize how big of a deal that was, especially to Louisiana Tech people. I mean, that's a big deal to be named to the orientation staff. And Cam tried for 3 years before they let him on, and then of course they let him on, and they do this follies at the end of the thing. And it was hilarious. Oh my gosh! I'm like, yeah, that's my kid. There's no question. He wrote that. I can tell you. I use my kid. My kids have wrote most of the material Boomer and I have ever used on the radio or here.
Especially the 9-year-old.
Yeah, the 9. She's sharp. She did come in the other day. I was editing our last week's podcast, and I'm clipping and cutting and raising levels and doing this and correcting the screen, and she was like, she's watching me, and she's like, "Dad, I think I need you to teach me how to edit." I'm like, it's fine. Okay, you're 9. I don't even know how to edit yet. So let me learn it, and then I'll teach you, okay?
She's a sharp kid.
Them youngest, because I have a 9-year-old. Remember, they're the same age. They got pretty close birthdays, I believe.
Probably so.
Yeah, and, man, they're something else. Like, they're the oldest of the bunch. They're the ones you don't want to mess with.
Yeah, that's
they're
the thing.
Ones you do not want to mess with.
It's like she's been here before.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Now, it was funny. A couple of years ago, when she was 7, we were at the dinner table, and she was like, "Hey, if we ever end up on the Oregon Trail," because I read about this Oregon Trail, "if we ever end up on that, could y'all not eat me? I'm basically new here." That's what she said. I'm basically new here.
Yeah, but you're the tenderest, though, right? You don't want the old tough meat.
You the veal.
That's right.
That's funny. She was on the origin trail.
On the origin
Trail.
trail. I sent a text to her teacher and told her what her teacher said. She said, "Y'all don't eat my sweet girl." So, and she definitely walked to the beat of her own drum.
Yeah.
And she's if she has been here before, she was a flower child previously. She was a hippie. There's no question. She was a beatnik of some sort.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peas and vegetable rice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Except now that child will devour a cow. Because she used to say, "Now, Daddy, what's this made out of?" I said, "Well, that's hamburger." "Yeah, but what's a hamburger made out of?" I said, "Cow." I sure like cows.
That's right.
I sure like cows.
Yeah.
That's right.
"Now, what's this made out of?" "Well, that's chicken." "So it's made from chickens?" "Mm-hmm. I sure do like chickens."
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're out in the country, so we're able to have some animals. We don't have a cow. That's what Delaney really wants, is a cow. One of these days I'll have to get her one. But somebody asked her, like, "Well, what are you going to do when the cow gets older?" And she goes, "We're going to eat it."
We're going to eat it.
And then what are you going to do? "I'm going to get another cow."
Just like we did that pig.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's it. So, well, man, I appreciate you coming, David. I really
I've
do.
loved it. It's fun.
Short notice, I know, for you,
okay.
but I appreciate it. And
Been a lot of fun.
glad to have you on
Yeah.
here and want to have you back, especially as you get closer to some of these events that we can talk a little more in depth about. And,
Absolutely.
And love to have you come back for those.
Sure. Absolutely.
All right.
I'd love to.
All right. David Lee, Executive Director of the Boys and Girls Club here in Union County. Thanks for being with us. And we're going to be back with more of Off the Back Porch right after this.
Summer is sizzling at Davis Farms Country Market. They just received a new load of fresh Ruston peaches, local farm-raised Jubilee and Black Diamond watermelons, and check out the new shipment of summer cantaloupes and more. Of course, there's always new summer fruit and vegetables arriving nearly daily. But be warned, if you come look, you can't help but buy. Food grown and raised by local farmers ready for you at Davis Farms Country Market, 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
This is a nightmare.
Someone called for a nightmare?
Hang on. That's your nightmare? Some roof damage? I'm a professional. I deal with real nightmares. You just need to sing the State Farm jingle.
State Farm jingle?
Do it!
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm can help with your claim. We're here when you need us.
Great. Can you get rid of it?
Ooh, who we getting rid of? Wait.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer, and thanks to David Lee for stopping by. That was great.
That was a good time that we've had with him, and David has a lot of interest in. We talked about some other things that he's interested in too, but what a phenomenal job he's done at the Boys and Girls
He
Club.
has,
Yeah.
and again
for years now.
And again, there's no question he's called to that.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he does it with fervor and passion.
Yeah.
And
A lot
that's
of energy.
awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, Boomer, I thought we'd share a few stories here, and this is one that I thought was interesting because, for example, I can smell smells other people just can't smell.
Yeah, you and I both have an acute sense of smell.
The difference is you, and I've seen him do it, he can taste something and tell you just
What's
about every
in it?
ingredient that's in it. And I don't have that ability.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember one time we went and ate some chicken salad somewhere, and I was like, man, that was good. And you're like, yeah. And so he went home. He's telling Fru all about it. He tells her it's got this and this and this, and she makes up a little batch. He said, needs a little more of this.
Mm-hmm.
And she made it, and my gosh, it didn't taste exactly.
She still does that. And she's made 55-gallon drums full of chicken salad by now over the years. And but she'll still say, what does it need? Mm-hmm. You know, she'll mix it up because Martha's kind of like me. And I mean, she gets down to specifics. She knows what she's going to put in it, but not as how much she's going to put in it, and depending on the batch. And so I get to taste a lot of stuff that she cooks.
Yeah. I'm all down. I'm
All
all
about
down
to
for
taste.
I'm all about for tasting something Martha's cooking. That's for sure.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
That I still go back to that seafood gumbo she made me that time.
You know what? Here's the deal. I pride myself on being a Cajun, and my mother was a bang up cook. And back in the day when you made your own roux, and you know now you can buy a roux that's better than you could make,
Right.
or most people can make. But Martha said, "Let me make the gumbo." One time I went, "Oh Lord, I said, what is this girl from North Louisiana figured out here? But now her gumbos are pretty expensive because now she's going to put crab meat in it. It's going to have shrimp in it, and she doesn't skimp on anything.
No.
And those you can get a little can of crab meat, and it's likely be a week's salary.
Yeah, easily.
Anyway, she doesn't do gumbo. Good
so
gumbo.
This I heard about this company that they were hiring, and they're hiring noses.
Smellers.
Yeah. In the laboratories of the German fragrance and flavor giant Symrise, noses are the people who learn the art of making things smell good. Now, here's what the story says. These busy heroes of the world, smells and aromas shape connections with millions of consumers every day. Heroes?
What?
Are we sure?
Yeah, maybe not.
They smell stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if they smell gas at your house,
that
that makes them a hero.
You want that guy.
But the guy who can tell me that, that's wintergreen, that's not peppermint toothpaste. I don't, okay.
Don't need that guy, you think?
Might need him, but he's not a hero.
Yeah.
So
they're calling them heroes.
They call them heroes. Symrise's experts work on everyday products that range from toothpaste to barbecue chips, fabric softener.
Yeah.
Here's how they start their day, though. Every single one of them, they have 80 of these noses that come to work every day. Every day they walk in, they blindfold them, and they give them 32 jars to smell. And you have to tell them what that smell is. And they equate that with, like one woman said, it's like tuning a piano before a concert. That's how they do. They figured out that if they'll smell those 32 flavors, those 32 aromas or scents, it will help them the rest of the day.
So they have a test every morning.
Every morning, yeah. So, but I thought this was funny. Alicia Di Benito Casado, a 32-year-old former professional pianist from Spain, switched her career into scent development because she used to make her own perfumes as a teenager to match the poetry and music that she wrote.
Now, shit, that's pretty talented there.
Yeah, but don't that sound like some hippie stuff, though?
Yeah, one of her smells got to be patchouli.
Here's what she said. For me, not everything has to smell good. The horror of smell also helps us discover ourselves. I don't want her making my cologne.
She's got horror smells?
That's what she said. The horror of smell can help us discover ourselves. Being a nose is a full-time job, comes with 3 years of training.
3 years?
It takes 3 years.
To train your nose?
So what they say is, for example, the smell of fabric softener can be composed of 80 compounds, which is more than 3 times what's in a normal body perfume.
Why?
I don't know.
Why does it take 80? Hey, I got those little shaky things that you put in the wash that makes it smell good, but I didn't know it had that much stuff in it.
Yes. Said the best noses can make out over 1,000 different odors while blindfolded. Blindfolded. In the world, there's only about 500 people that can do this job.
So,
and 80 of them work at this one place in Germany.
80 of them work at one place.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Symrise is a company that, they have about 30,000 products that they determine the scent of.
They're in charge of making it smell the way it does.
Many of the ones in America as well. Fabric softeners, toothpaste, mouthwash, all, and not just personal hygiene items, but just cereal and barbecue chips and just how they smell when you open them. I want to know who was in charge of making that smell when somebody lights a Marlboro light. That very first one. That's one of my favorite people.
We've talked about that. We don't smoke anymore.
We don't, but that's one smell.
Yeah.
That one smell.
I don't like the coughing or the bad breath, but that first smell.
Or stinking clothes or car and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that first smell when somebody lights one up, I like that smell.
Yep.
Who made the smell that comes out of a freshly opened pouch of Beach Man or Red Man or Beach Nut?
Yeah.
I like that smell too.
My daddy chewed
molasses.
Red Man. Yeah.
Makes
me throw up. He liked it.
Breland, my grandpa, for years, he chewed a plug tobacco. It was called Day's Work.
Yep, Daddy did too.
And he'd take his little pocket knife out and he'd whittle
him some off.
Yep. throw it in his mouth, and away he'd go. I never tried it. Never tried days work.
Well, you know, I had the bright idea that I could quit smoking if I learned how to chew. Now, if you put some Red Man in your mouth and swallow some of that, or maybe not you, but me, I threw up.
Yeah.
It made me nauseated and I throw up. So I said, well, cigarettes don't make me throw up, but that'll do it too. I mean, if I went and smoked a cigarette right now, I'd throw up. But, you know, it's just like saying, well, you won't like the taste of beer the first time. You have to develop a taste for it.
Yeah.
I said, I can't develop a taste for nothing if I don't like it.
Well, unfortunately, I developed a taste for it early in life.
Early in life.
So, you know, I'm not afraid on any level, but man, it was to give up chewing tobacco after I chewed for 50 or 40 something years. I just, man, I can't do it, you know, because it was the first few days was hard.
That coming off that nicotine, it's hard to come off nicotine.
And anyway, this company, they're still looking for noses. So figure somebody who has as good a sense of smell as you.
Maybe that's another opportunity.
Yeah. Now you got to go to Germany.
Oh, you have to go to Germany.
Yeah, it's in Germany. They can't ship you the smells.
Oh, okay.
Can't smell them through the phone.
No, you can't do that.
And
they can fax them.
a 3-year training program.
Yeah, I don't have that much time.
Hey, this story, I wrote this headline, so that's not it. But leave it to Trump. Bananas are too expensive.
Okay.
So, a visitor to a French museum bit into a fresh banana worth millions of dollars, taped to a wall last week. Italian artist Maurizio Calatan, whose provocative creation entitled Comedian was purchased for $6.2 million in New York last year. He said he was disappointed when the person who took the banana from his creation and ate it.
He ate that $6.2 million banana?
Yeah. So here's what it is. It's a canvas. It's got a banana and some duct tape.
And he bought it for $6.2 million?
Well, this guy didn't buy it. I mean, the guy who made it made $6.2 million on it when he sold it. And then it was in this museum. Now, here's my question, Boomer. He pulled this banana off there and ate it, right?
Yeah.
That can't be the same banana.
No.
That banana ain't gonna.
No.
Listen, if you design a banana that'll stay good for a couple of years, maybe it's worth $6.2 million.
Yeah, because most of them are bad the third day.
Yeah. I mean, we can get them half green ones when we go to the store, and within a couple of days, I'm like, all right, guys, y'all better eat these bananas. I ain't going to buy anymore.
Give me some spots on them.
Yeah. So I'm reading it. I'm like, there's more to this. What is it? And so they say every couple of days they change the banana out. And I'm like, then what's the big deal?
What? Oh, my Lord.
Then what's the big deal?
Hunter Biden stuff. His kind of art.
Well, I have to give him more credit than this.
Yeah, even as bad as his is better
better
banana and duct tape.
So,
my Lord.
Now this artist, he did this in response to a New York Times article that said the price of art and the quality of art has gone bananas. And so that's what he did that.
Yeah.
And but this is also the guy who made an 18-karat gold toilet for Donald Trump.
Okay.
When during President Trump's first term in office.
Yeah.
And of course, if you recall, that toilet was stolen. It was at the home that belonged to Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
And some guys stole it. Now, how do you walk out of a house, especially a museum-style home,
with an 18-karat
gold toilet? No one sees it or notices.
I don't know how you get out of there.
Anyway, those guys were arrested.
Sure.
But they never recovered the gold. They took it home, melted it down, and got rid of the gold immediately. So they've never found the gold.
So they found the guys, but not the gold.
Yeah, they found the guys, but not the gold.
Maybe it's in them bananas.
Gold-plated bananas. $6.2 million. But, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out a way we could blame that on Donald Trump, too. That bananas,
it's his fault.
$6.2 million.
It's his fault.
Yeah, it definitely
Did you know that if your home air conditioning unit is already running and you turn the thermostat down to try to make it cooler in the house, you could be doing more harm than good? This is why you call Dyson Service Company the experts of home comfort solutions. That's another way of saying Dyson Service Company helps make your home a place of comfort and relaxation. Call Dyson Service Company today, 862-0409.
A proud member of the El Dorado community, LSB Industries is a leading manufacturer of nitrogen-based products for the industrial and agricultural markets. Working together as one team, our employees are dedicated to creating products that improve the quality of life for current and future generations.
Well, all right, you ready for our first Florida man?
Yeah, Florida man.
And the reason I say first one is because I think I have 3 this week. 2 or 3 of them anyway. St. Petersburg, Florida. A Florida man was arrested Tuesday after being caught having conjugal relations with a stuffed animal inside Target. Witnesses told police they saw 20-year-old Cody Meter take the Olaf stuffed animal from Frozen, the little snowman, off the store shelves and begin to
fornicate
with it. The police reports Meter then did what he did and was able to somehow complete the act with the stuffed animal. Then selected a large unicorn stuffed animal off of the shelf and began to do the same with it. Meter was taken into custody while in the store and admitted to doing quote-unquote stupid stuff. You think?
It's hard for me to even say anything about this.
Right, because, anyway, he was arrested and charged with criminal mischief. The Olaf and unicorn stuffed animals were removed from the store and destroyed.
You think?
Yeah. Now, I'm here for the comments, though.
Okay.
So I'm reading the comments on this story. And one guy said, dude, take your stuffed Olaf home, do what you do, and then take it back and return it like a normal person.
Like everybody else does. Something wrong with this Olaf.
Did you ever see the cartoon or the Disney film Frozen?
Yeah.
Okay. So someone put some musical notes that said, do you want to blank a snowman? They didn't say blank.
That's horrible.
And then some person said, oh, look, I've been impaled. Because, there's a point where the stick goes through him. And yeah. And then this guy wrote, it's freaking July, people. Why does Christmas start earlier every year? Only in Florida, the Florida man.
Well, but most of the time on anything, the comments are funnier than the content.
My wife, she's going to sniff out the ones with the best comments.
Yeah,
Absolutely. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, I have another Florida man, and this one involves a flamethrower.
Okay,
imagine that.
I like flamethrowers.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more of Off the Back Porch right after this.
Grammy Award-winning Train, live. August 27th, the Mad Amphitheater in El Dorado, Arkansas. Train, with special guest Edwin McCain. On sale now at eldomad.com. Presented by Save Me San Francisco Wine Company.
Everybody loves a parade, and Hilarious Pizza throws parades all week long. Bring the family in for your favorites, or explore the variety that Hilarious Pizza offers. Come join us at Hilarious Pizza for the greatest parade ever.
Welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer. Here we are at our favorite place, and that is Main Street Pizza.
Main Street Pizza.
Here in beautiful downtown El Dorado, Arkansas. And Boomer, we had a great pizza earlier.
And tell me what that is again. It's the
Pro Special.
Pro Special.
With no olives
or mushrooms.
No mushrooms.
Add javelinas.
And add some javelinas. I mean some jalapenos. Yeah. I got family down in South Texas. They javelina something that's a staple food for them.
Oh heck yeah! Just cut them scent glands off, and we're gonna eat him.
Yeah, that's it.
We're gonna barbecue him.
Yeah, over a spit all day.
Some people don't know what a javelina is. It's not a pig.
No,
it's
kind of like one.
Kind of like they in the family, I guess. But they're a little more gamey.
They are.
They're pretty gamey.
Which is why you slow smoke them for a long time. But I had an aunt and uncle are still have. They're still alive, and you've met them, Uncle Mason.
Yep.
And Edith, as he pronounces it, Edith. And they lived in part of Houston, and they had some neighbors and Hispanic neighbors. And I would go over to Aunt Edith and Uncle Mason's house, and the neighbors they'd have a goat and a javelina and a couple other on the spits back there, and they would cook them for 2 days. And then they're like, "Hey, Sandy, come here. Get you some." So, estaba muy bien, sí.
Hey, we used to hunt. We used to go deer hunting in South Texas, close to Uvalde, and we were redoing the feeders one day. Long story short, I'll make it short. Redoing the feeders, and I walk up this, Caliche hill going up to these feeders. I just was walking up there, and they were coming in the Jeep, and we were going to take the lid off. And when I turned the corner and headed up, the javelinas were inside the gate. And, we put gates around them, fences around them. They dug under it. Well, here they come. They're coming back down the trail right at
you.
And now I'm carrying a 30-06.
Yeah.
So I'm John Wayne-ing it. I don't have time. I just shoot one of them from the hip. And, I'm 12, so it scared the fire out of me. But I downed one of them.
Yeah.
Daddy said, you got one. I said, man, they was coming for me.
It was either I get one or they get me.
Get me. Yeah. But we took him home and we barbecued him.
Yeah.
Yep. He's gamey. He's a little gamey.
Yeah, they're gamey, that's for sure. But still
pretty good.
Still pretty good if you eat it right.
Yep.
So, all right, this is another Florida man. This one comes out of Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And chaos erupted Tuesday evening at the Palms of Paradise apartment complex.
Palms of Paradise.
Yes. When 38-year-old Florida resident Daryl Jenkins allegedly used a homemade flamethrower to defend what he called his, quote, God-given and lease-signed parking space.
One of those guys.
Yes.
Oh, you need to move.
According to witnesses, the conflict began when his neighbor Sheila Cartwright pulled into the spot Daryl had marked with a hand-painted sign reading, "Reserved for Daryl, king of spot number 12." The spot notably was unassigned and part of just the general tenant parking.
Yeah.
Quote, he came out of his apartment wearing a bathrobe, flip-flops, and holding what looked like a leaf blower attached to a propane tank, said his neighbor Jeff Allen. Jenkins allegedly shouted, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's parking space," before igniting what officials later described as a Frankenstein-level homemade flamethrower.
So he invented another commandment.
Yes, he did. Sent a plume of fire about 15 feet into the air.
Uh-huh.
Cartwright, undeterred, calmly rolled up her window. She told police, "I rolled up my window," said, "Oh, hell no."
Not today.
Jesus fix it. When officers arrived, Jenkins told them, "I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. I just want her to know this ain't valet parking, sweetheart." Police confiscated the flamethrower, which Jenkins claimed was more of a conversation starter than a weapon.
I'll say.
Yeah, that'll start a conversation, all right.
Yeah, against you.
Yeah. You come at me with a flamethrower.
See what happens.
And I'm going to start the conversation with this .40 caliber that's almost always on my person.
Yeah.
So he said, "Next time I'll just leave a lawn chair in the spot like a normal person." Yeah, but next time you ain't got to worry about next time. Brother, you may not see the rest of this time.
You're gonna be in the pokey.
Meanwhile, management at Palms of Paradise says they are now installing parking spot numbers. No injuries were reported, though several bushes now resemble toasted marshmallows. And Jenkins has been banned by the apartment complex from having propane on the premises.
They don't allow propane on the apartment complex?
Not him.
Not him.
It's now in his lease.
No propane for you.
They're like, "I smell something cooking. Better be charcoal."
Oh man!
All right, told you I had multiple Florida men. Here's us another one. It was a sultry Monday night in Martin County, Florida.
Martin County, I don't know where that is.
Me either.
Yeah.
When 40-year-old Joseph Leedy, feeling inspired, decided the best place to spend his evening wasn't at the beach, but in the front lobby of the county jail. Dressed only in a lady's blouse and nothing else, Joseph peeled into the jail parking lot in his trusty Toyota Camry. He revved up the engine and made a beeline for the front walkway and sent the Camry through the double glass doors of the jail lobby. Once inside, he hurled rubber snakes onto the lobby floor, then started pouring motor oil over his car and the lobby and yelled how the devil told me to kill as many people as possible and rant about his disdain for Donald Trump. Despite Deputies arrived to find Leedy throwing rubber snakes. He apparently ignored multiple commands and ended up being tased before being taken away to the hospital. Treated and sedated at the hospital, he was booked into the Martin County Jail on 4 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
What was the deadly weapon?
His car.
Snakes? Oh, yeah. Well, the car, yeah.
Drove the car through the front doors.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I watched the video of it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It is everything that story says it is. He jumps out. He is naked from the waist down.
Has a woman's
blouse on.
Yeah.
And
no bra.
And obviously he did not have an airbag in that car because his forehead hit that steering wheel pretty hard.
Wow.
And
so what caught it? I mean, just the security cameras or something?
Mm-hmm. Now, here's my thing, Boomer. If he said the devil told him to do it, stop listening to him.
Yeah, don't listen to him.
He has never got your best interest
He
in
is
mind.
not going to have you do something that would benefit you.
Ever.
Ever, not ever, 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 ever.
Yes. Stop it. Folks, listen.
Yeah. You take this now. Hey, we're going to steer you wrong from time to time.
Yeah, because
we're
we're
not
idiots.
right now.
But not right now.
Listen to this.
Quit listening to the devil.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
And here's what you have to do to know when the devil is telling you to do something.
Mm-hmm.
How you do that?
Is this going to turn out good or is this going to turn out bad?
Well, that'd be one way, but how are you going to recognize the devil's voice?
Oh, because it's gravelly.
No, you're going to know
hey,
it doesn't.
Boomer.
Never mind. I won't go there.
Hey there, little Red Riding Hood.
So if you know what God's voice sounds like, you're going to know it ain't the Lord.
That's right. My sheep will know my voice.
He said that.
Yeah.
I'll be a light unto thy path and a lamp unto thy feet.
All that.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to tell you to drive into the front of a police station
ever.
and throw rubber snakes and cuss
And
out
pour
Donald
motor
Trump
oil.
and pour out motor oil and cuss out Donald Trump. The Lord is never going to tell you to do
I wonder
that.
how close this place is to other Florida man with flamethrower. They need to get together.
They could. Yeah, he poured that motor oil everywhere. They could have had
They could have had a bonfire.
black smoke fire just boiling out of that place. I wonder how close that is to Orlando now. I mean, that'd be funny if they was the same jail.
Hey, what'd you do?
They got flamethrower
That's
guy.
nothing.
They got flamethrower guy in a cell, and they're like, "You ain't worried?" He said, "My ride's coming in just a minute. He'll be here."
Just when you see that Toyota come through the windows.
Yeah, we see that Camry come through. That's my ride.
Yeah, that's it. That's him.
And matter of fact, I talked to the devil a while ago. He told me he was on the way. So.
We both listening.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have more of Off the Back Porch right after this. Welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer. And Boomer, we still have to play Drunk, High, or Stupid.
Okay.
But you were telling me about a guy that this just doesn't ring right with me.
It just, and it may be too soon. You know, jokes are always about timing. Because
tragedy plus
time, you know, he's sometimes funny. We don't know this guy, but it happened last week. And he went into a room that he's not supposed to go into, and he died from it. But I wanted to ask you this first before we get to the story. If your doctor tells you, I need to do an EKG on you, what does that stand for? Do you know what?
Electrocardiogram.
Okay, so it's an electrical stimulus to find out
what's going on
what's
inside.
going on.
Yeah.
Or a sonogram.
That uses sound.
An MRI.
Magnetic resolution imaging.
What is the operative word in that?
Magnetic.
So before you've had an MRI,
yes.
and they ask you, do you have any metal screws in your head, or you know
plates?
Yeah, anything in your pockets? Let's get that they don't want it in that room.
And not just once. I mean, I went to the one I had done, I mean, like 5 times.
Yeah, they're very adamant about.
Take your ring off, and they'll look you over, they'll pat you down. I mean, all that. I was like, any more than this is y'all going to charge me double. I'm.
So this dude, somehow, while an MRI was being done to someone in progress, came in through a side door. Somehow.
Okay.
And this was, I heard this on a newscast, so it wasn't a tongue-in-cheek thing.
Yeah.
But he had a chain around his neck that they said weighed 20 pounds.
Okay.
Like a Flava Flav chain.
I have a bunch of questions, but go ahead.
And it somehow, I just caught the tail of it. He expired, that sucked him in there, and something happened to him. I don't know if it banged his head up against it, but it magneted him.
It magneted him?
Yeah.
He got magneted.
He got magneted.
Now, how do you have that funeral? Oh, what happened to little Joe? Man,
he got magneted.
He got magneted to what happened to him. So
he was trying to go incognito with this chain on. He was going as Flava Flav, and it killed him.
KILT.
Dead. Like I said, it's if we knew the guy, if we were in that area, in Florida, it happened in Florida.
Yeah, imagine that.
We wouldn't be doing this story, but people are stupid.
Well, okay. I said I had a number of questions. First question.
Okay.
How do you leave a door unlocked?
Yeah, I blame the technician.
With an MRI going on.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Secondly, what the hell are you doing with a 20-pound chain?
Yeah, why are you wearing that?
That doesn't sound comfortable to me at all.
No.
A 20.
Talk about a chain around your neck.
Yeah.
Ball and chain.
Flava Flav, that clock was wrong all but twice a day. 2 times a day it was right.
And he was proud of it.
Yeah.
Wore it all the time.
There it is. It's right now.
Oh, man. I just had to bring that up.
And then, I'm like you. I don't know what happened, but it just seems to me like when you walked in there and your chain went, that's a time to take it off.
Yeah, flip it off your head.
Yeah, something.
I don't know. I'm going to have to find out. I'm going to look this up, and we're going to get the rest of the story.
Yeah. It reminds me, there was one time, one of my baseball teams, we were practicing at this little city park, and every day at 6 o'clock, the drug dealers would show up. Every day.
Oh, yeah, I know where you were.
The crack dealers. And there was 3 of them. You had the guy with the crack, had it in a backpack. Then you had the guy who had the money, and then you had a runner. And runner's job was to keep an eye out for the popos. And then runner would run out there and get your order, take your money, give it to money guy. Money guy would tell crack carrying guy, give him this much crack, and he'd run it back. And we watched this happen every day. So one day, someone on our team had contacted then Chief of Police Ricky Roberts. And he called me and he said, hey, you're going to have a couple of new dads at your practice today. Don't pay them any mind. You just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we're at practice, 6 o'clock on the dot.
Here comes dads.
They show up. No, dads are there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They show up. And drug dealers are out there doing their thing. So when the cops go to arrest them, this one drug dealer who has the backpack on, and he has a cinched on, right? But he slips out of that backpack when they went to grab him. I'm just saying, maybe we should get crack carrying guy to talk to the necklace guy.
Too late.
Well, yeah, it is too late now. Ain't it?
He could do some seminars.
If you ever, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever go into an MRI room,
do not. I
with
repeat,
an
do
MRI
not.
that's going on currently, do not wear a 20-pound chain. But if you do,
yeah, if it so happens,
go through a door that you're not admitted into an area you're not admitted into, wearing a cheap ass gold-plated metal chain. Here's how you get out of it.
Yeah, just slip it off your neck.
Just slip it off your neck.
Yeah. Now, if you had a ring on, it may be harder to do, but anyway.
I'm like you, though. I mean, did it suck him up there and bust his head
Yeah,
open? I don't know.
I'm going to have to find out.
I mean, he couldn't have been a very big guy.
If 20 pounds pulled him over.
I'm just thinking, Boomer, I don't know that there's an MRI machine in the world that's big enough to suck my fat butt up off the ground. I'm just saying.
I don't know if it's like got him in there and ground him up. I don't know what happened. We're going to find out. I'm going to find out.
Do a little more research.
I'm going to do some more research. I'm going to bring it back.
Come back to us on that.
On next version.
Okay. All right. It is time for our favorite game called Drunk, High, or Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. A Utah man has reportedly been arrested for shooting and killing his friend. 23-year-old Ashton Mann is facing charges that include felony manslaughter after he was arrested over the weekend. Police responded to a home after receiving a call about a man who was shot in the chest. First responders found the man unresponsive on the floor, took him to a local hospital, but he did not survive. Detectives said Mann told him that he and his friend had begun talking about guns while in the kitchen. Mann and his friend then carried the conversation into the garage, where the two reportedly were handling handguns, when the friend said, "I can dodge a bullet."
He said what?
"I can dodge a bullet."
And the other friend said, "No, you can't."
Let's see.
Let's see.
The 23-year-old told police.
He said he could dodge it.
That's what I'm saying. Why is he in jail?
My intent wasn't to shoot him. I wanted to see could he dodge it.
He said he
and
could.
by the way, he can't.
He is 0 for 1. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's dodged 5 other ones, but this one he didn't.
He's seen that movie. He's seen that movie where they jump
the Matrix,
out. Yeah, the Matrix.
Yeah.
You ain't the Matrix.
The 23-year-old told police that they unloaded the guns that they were using, but somehow one of the guns ended up firing and striking the friend in the chest while he was trying to jump out the way.
Oh, my Lord.
Somehow. Now, officer, I'm going to this is when it's good because I was a cop and that I'm going to tell you the truth.
Look here. Look here.
Look, I'm not going to lie.
I'm going to tell you the truth.
We had unloaded the guns. Okay, it was unloaded.
Yeah.
But somehow
this gun got reloaded.
This gun had at least one bullet in it that he did not dodge like he said he would do. It's a good thing he did, because if not, he would be a liar. That's what I'm saying.
But
officer,
you can't get me for murder.
He said he could dodge it.
He said he could dodge it.
That would be like if you said, "Sandy, I can dodge a freight train," and then you went out on the tracks and didn't. We can't arrest the train driver.
No.
The train drivers are doing what the train driver does.
Yeah.
The bullet just did what bullets do.
Yeah. And dude said, "That's all right. I can make a bullet go around a corner." Didn't do that either, did he?
Didn't do that either. So, anyways, he was hit in the chest while trying to jump out of the way. Authorities said they found the 2 handguns in question at the home with ammunition. Officials did not immediately identify the man who was killed. So, Boomer, were they drunk, high, or stupid?
I don't know. That's just too much.
Stupid is definitely in this.
Stupid is in it. Now, if stupid did it, you don't have to be drunk or high.
Right. But
if you're high, depending on what you're high on, maybe you think you.
Here's one of my favorite.
Karate Man.
Karate Man.
Karate
on
Man
the inside. We don't show our weaknesses. You wouldn't.
You wouldn't know nothing about that, though.
With your big Barry White looking.
Yeah. Hey, I can quote some scriptures, but not as many as I can movie lines.
That's right.
I think high. They started out stupid. Now the guy that pulled the gun, he's not drunk, high, or stupid. He just he's inquisitive.
I'm just curious, Your Honor.
He said he could dodge it. I was wanting to see if he could.
I would like. Now that'd be something right there.
We could take that show on the road.
Your Honor, had he been able to dodge it, we'd be talking about something totally different right now.
Instead, he's dead. But my intent was not to get. We was trying to start a show. I was going to go on Greatest America, that America show where you get acted in Vegas.
What was that called? Incredible.
America's
incredible.
America's Got Talent is what I'm thinking about.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking about the one from the 70s. That's incredible.
Yeah, that was a long. Oh, how about the Gong Show? We could put him on the Gong Show.
Put him on the Gong Show
With the
whatever his name was.
Gong Show guy.
Chuck Barris?
Chuck, no, not. I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, so one of my favorite Sandyisms.
Mm-hmm.
Drunken words are just sober thoughts. Drunken actions are just sober thoughts. In other words, you don't get drunk and then do something just totally out of your character.
Mm-hmm.
So if
you just have less inhibitions, perhaps.
Yeah, that's my thing. I think you have less inhibitions. So I would have said they were drunk. However, I read the rest of the story.
Oh, so you have the rest of the story on your story?
Yes.
Unlike mine.
In addition to the guns and ammo police found, they also found marijuana.
Yeah. So you didn't tell me that part.
Well, they would give away if they were drunk, high, or stupid.
It might just add to it.
Yeah, well.
We know he's high now.
Yes, they found marijuana and other drug paraphernalia in the home.
Other drug paraphernalia.
Yeah. One of them was a blue straw. But I don't know what a blue straw has to do with anything.
I don't know either.
But it wasn't that one. There was a different story I was reading where the police in Florida stopped a man. Man, my phone is blowing up. I don't know what that's all about. Police stopped a man on a tollway.
Yeah.
On his bad boy mower.
Uh-huh.
And
he had a blue straw.
Had a blue straw in his back pocket.
Yeah.
And so
they arrested him for that.
They took him to jail for driving under the influence of
blue straw stuff,
of illegal drugs. Yes.
So obviously something illegal comes in a blue straw in that part of the country.
Or you snort it up with the blue straw. I don't know.
I remember having them straws that had the sugar in it.
Pixie sticks.
Pixie sticks, yeah.
Man, that was the best high for about 35 seconds. And then you would crash.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
I just want to run. But I can't run no more.
Man, as a kid, candy cigarettes and pixie sticks, those were the best ever.
And were you old enough to where we'd get little wax bottles that had Coke in them, Coca-Cola in them?
Yes.
You chew that off and then you chew the whole thing.
Chew the whole thing, yep, sure did. They quit doing that when I was real little. You know, they also quit making Pop Rocks for a while, too.
Yeah.
Because there was them rumors.
Them rumors that you
take them Pop Rocks and then drink some soda with it of
and
some
you
sort.
blow up.
And it was KILT in people.
Yeah.
Or as they say on social media, unaliving them.
Yeah, you can't say
them.
kilt.
It was deleting them.
Yeah. We've done gone stupid. We've gone stupid.
Well, we've been going that way. We just got there a lot faster than I thought we
would. I
would.
want to tell you what I see a new trend is happening is that woke is not as woke as it was just a few years ago.
Mm-mm.
You take the years from about 12 to 13 or 14 up to about 18 or 19, we was stupid. We was taking statues down. We was changing the name of football teams. Hey, Trump says if you want some money for this Commodores or Commanders in Washington, you're going to have to change it back to the Redskins. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that.
He said he's going to hold it back. Going to put a tariff on that money. They are not getting that money until they change it back to the Redskins.
Well, you know, the family after whom the likeness of the previous mascot, the Redskins mascot was, that family is pissed.
Yeah.
They're like, that's our grandpa.
You
know, that's great grandpa Running Rain or whatever his name was.
We're so stupid. You can't say killed. Everything gets killed eventually.
One way or another.
Yeah. Everything that lives dies on this planet.
That's now you're trying to throw the Bible into stuff. It's appointed that the man wants to die.
Don't hang on a minute, brother. I'll call you back. Don't confuse me with the facts.
Yeah.
Is what they'll say.
Yeah. Quit trying to throw.
Yeah.
Of course, I heard a pastor one time said he was having a deacon board meeting, and he's meeting with the deacon board, and he said, well, gentlemen, the Bible says, I don't care what the Bible says.
I'm not interested in what the Bible says. We're going to take this and solve it right here now.
I don't care what the Bible says here at this church meeting. I'm not trying to talk about that. Well, you know, the Lord said, I don't care what the Lord said. Okay.
It does.
That's one of those you just let hang there for a minute. Just leave it. Just leave that one there. Let that marinate for a minute before you move on with the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
All right, Boomer. We've got some events going on around the area.
We do. I've got some that I want to talk about at going on at Mad 101, and I told you we were there last Thursday night. And there's some good things that happen at Mad 101.
Yes.
You can have some good food, some good conversation, and this guy that I heard last Thursday night was real good. This Saturday, the 25th, Boomer Hill is going to be at Mad, and then on the 31st, Micah Hughes and Washita Revival. I've heard
They're
of
real
them
good.
before.
Yep.
And then Saturday, August the 2nd, Larry Fleet, who is also very good. And that's all at Mad 101. Then over at the Financial Music Hall on the 23rd, we've talked about now for a month or more, Avett Brothers will be here. And on the 27th, Train with Edwin McCain's going to be
that's
here.
Gonna be a good
That's
show.
going to be a great concert. And that was one of those I tell you that Martha and I went to, even though, I'm not a child of the 90s. You start hearing, I know that song.
Yeah, I know that song.
So you know who Train is.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I saw the Avett Brothers up in Bentonville a few years ago, and they're the real deal.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
They have cool music, and it's all brothers, and it's not mainstream stuff. It's not bluegrass. It's not country. I don't know if you'd call it progressive. I don't know where it fits in, but some great music that you'll enjoy.
Reminds me, you remember the Cleverly Trio, right?
Yeah. I've heard them a bunch of times.
The Cleverly Trio, which there's 5 of them.
Yes, 5 of them.
But
they're a bluegrass group.
Well,
they look like a bluegrass group.
They look and sound bluegrass, but if you remember, so Boomer and I are watching. We're at an event one time, and they're the guests and they're the entertainment for the night. And now you gotta think about this guy that is the lead on that, which had been a comedian. You remember he was the Bill Clinton impersonator that we had at that meeting a year or two prior, and then before that he was the comedian there that the one talked about his wife taking him down to the front of the church for prayer, and so great funny guy. But so when he had the Cleverly Trio that they started that up, and it's big, they're big now, but he said, now we're going to do a little song by a gospel singer named Katy Perry.
And she used to be a gospel singer.
And of course they did a bluegrass version of "I Kissed a Girl."
Yeah.
And
then any song that you take off the pop charts, they can turn it into a bluegrass.
Yeah, and they did.
And they do.
They do. And they did a bluegrass version of
If You Want to Put a Ring on It.
Yeah, got to put a ring on it, Beyonce. And then they did one with the Dre and Blackstreet, Diggity. No Diggity. Owner of a Lonely Heart.
Yeah.
I remember they did bluegrass. So they were hilarious. I mean, that was a lot of fun.
Excellent musicians, by the way.
Very, very good musicians. And of course there's a guy in the band that he claims to be his son, which is not in real life, he's not, but he claims him to be his son. He said, and this here's my boy, Junior.
Junior.
Don't he look like Woody from Toy Story?
He did.
And by gosh, he does.
And he played a little drum. That's all he did. He had a little snare drum, and he could make it do a bunch of different things. Anyway.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So other things going on around the area. This one is coming up on Monday, August the 4th at 10 a.m. It is the ribbon cutting and grand opening for Starbucks.
Yeah.
On the Avenue.
Finally.
That's going to be coming along. Yeah, well.
Never mind.
Going to leave that alone. Let's see. Christmas in July. It's the free movie showing for the best Christmas pageant ever. Go through the South Arkansas Arts Center for more information about that. And then coming up with the Boys and Girls Club on Saturday, August the 2nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is their 2025 Touch a Truck. Interact with community leaders. They'll be accepting donations of new shorts, socks, underwear, and school supplies, all benefiting the Boys and Girls Club.
Cool. Yeah.
So that's going to be going on there. If you have an event you would like for us to talk about here on the podcast, or if you or someone you know would like to be a guest, I don't know why you would, but if so, then you can contact us, news@southarkansasnow.com. And that is the easiest way to get in touch with us. Boom, we've got some other great things that are coming and that we're real close to being ready to announce. Just letting the ink dry on some of it. But it's some really exciting things that,
I'm excited
that we
about
have,
for you.
have coming down the pipe. And we're ready to just expand and grow. And of course, we do. This is episode 16.
Really?
Yeah. This is
We've
our
done
16th,
16 already?
This is our
Wow.
16th episode.
Wow.
And I think it's amazing. And,
It is
and we've
amazing.
had a good time. And I'm hearing from new people every week.
I do too. I heard from someone, a younger person last week, said, "Y'all are funny." I said, "Well, we're funny looking, and we may say something funny, but just keep watching. We'll say something.
We'll disappoint you at some point.
Disappoint you. You've got 16 tries. So.
Yeah, but I'm blown away by some of the people who are coming up and said, "Oh man, I was watching y'all's podcast the other day," and of course we have the podcast on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah,
and you can find them there.
And what do you look up when you go on YouTube?
Off the Back Porch.
Off the Back Porch.
Yeah. Just type in Off the Back Porch, and that should bring you to us. And so we're looking forward to making more podcasts and hopefully gathering more fans. And, a lot of people, and you probably had this happen. You and I were last on the radio together, 2012, 2011?
Yeah.
So.
Probably before that.
So only because we did the math earlier, 2011 is 14 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. So. In that, there are still people who will walk up to me and recite entire conversations that you and I had on the radio. They will tell me something that I'm like,
we said.
And I'm like, I do remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's amazing to me that people, that we evidently were that memorable to some people.
And what happens to me is that people will still call me Boomer.
Yeah.
So you're Boomer, aren't you? I said, yeah, I was, a number of years ago on the radio. But anyway, it's been fun. And this, being able to come back and relive some of the things that we were able to do then. A lot of it we can't talk about anymore.
No.
Because we're a lot more woke. Yeah.
Well, that and we're a little more mature.
No, we're not.
No, we're really not far away.
Hey, you just said that because you want to be.
Yes. Here's the thing: we do talk about those things. I just take them out in editing. No, we're not going to
say that.
We're not going to have that on there.
Yeah. Well, comedians, a true comedian is not going to make fun of one. Just hang on. He'll make fun of everybody.
Yeah, just stick around.
Yeah, just stick around.
He'll offend somebody else along the way.
So consequently, we don't want to offend anybody anymore. We're nicer than we used to be.
Yeah, I don't particularly want to.
But I do.
But I will.
Yeah, don't be stupid, drunk, or high, and we won't make fun of you.
And don't play crazy around me.
And don't play crazy.
I don't play with crazy people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a no-no.
Because he is carrying.
Most of the time. Most of the time I
All right.
am.
So we're more mature if you think so.
Well, again, I'm not sure if we are, but we're going to claim to be.
Yeah, man.
And just,
I'm with you.
And make it go from there. All right, that's going to wrap up this week's episode. We appreciate you being with us. Hey, until next week, thanks for being here. God bless.